Hey. Right on. So, anti-animal use will be live this Saturday on the streets. I didn't update our image, so this is the image from the time before, but still. We're going to be live Saturday in the market asking people about oppression and exploitation, about their principles, and if they're really living in alignment with them. You know, and maybe asking them why are we out there? Get them to me to understand, why are we standing up for the animals and speaking up? Why are we trying to tell you what to do? Anyway. All right. With that said, thank you everyone for being here. Let me go ahead and put our actual screen up. Nope, that wasn't it. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I was clicking on the wrong thing. Hey guys. Ta-da. Okay. And YouTube, I know it's cut off here for you. Unfortunately, YouTube gets to see from the behind the scenes kind of instead of from the TikTok view. Yeah, look at those grass puppies. Exactly. Yeah, that was a little loop that I had created because, yeah, there is no morally relevant difference between the two. Yeah, just playing with a ball. Anyway, okay, guys. Oh, I guess you can't see it, huh? There. Hey, it's good to see you, Vegan Siren. It's just a fun little clip that I had made. All right. Go back to this. All right. Hey. All right, everybody. Like and share. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Or whatever, follow. And hey, Daniel. It's good to see you. Let's get some people in here. Let me get my guests up. Looks like we have a couple of requests. Let me pull you guys over here. Okay, so why aren't you vegan? 18 and older only, please. Watch Dominion if you haven't already. It's a free documentary on YouTube. You can just type in YouTube on Google. Or what did I say, YouTube? Type in Dominion on Google or just in YouTube. I would put 2018 on the end of it just to specify which movie you mean. Nutritionfacts.org is just a great website to get nutritional information. They have what's called the Vegan Daily Dozen. Really easy checklist to make sure you get everything you need in a day. Hi, Dimples Day Off. I don't know if I know you, but welcome in. I don't know if I remember you, but if I do, or if we have spoken and I just don't remember it now, forgive me. And then Vegan Easy if you need a hand. Sometimes it's nice to have community, someone to talk to figure things out, how to be vegan, because sometimes it's hard to figure out how to get over certain obstacles, and it's good to have someone to talk to. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Dimples. If you ever want to come up again to remind me, I'm okay with that. My favorite vegan meal, that's kind of hard. I really love like a vegan teriyaki burger. Those are really good, like a burger with some pineapple on top and like a glaze that we make. My partner just made me one of those not too long ago. And then last night he made chili burgers, which were really good. We don't typically eat Beyond Burgers that often, but they're so good when we treat ourselves. So yeah, I get plenty of protein. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Joe. Hey, Joe.
Over the age of 18. Hi, how are you?
Good. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay, right on. So why aren't you vegan yet?
So like me personally, I'm not vegan because that's just not what like there's some people that literally cannot digest meat.
Okay, but what about
And
you?
other people, yeah, me personally, like ancestors on both my mom and my dad's side.
Okay, I'm asking
Like
you
my grandma,
specifically.
grandpa. Yeah, and I'm explaining. My grandma, grandpa, and their parents, and so on and so forth, ate meat,
Yeah, so did mine.
and that's pretty much like. And my mom raised me, and that's pretty much all she
Okay, is there
had.
any more to
And
this story, or are you just going to keep telling me that your family eats animal flesh?
well, I'm not trying to offend you in any way. I'm just saying,
Well, I
like,
know, but you're like,
you,
I just want to be clear.
well, you're
Do you have more to say? I like can't talk already. Okay, so all you're telling me is that your family consumed animals. Yeah, so did mine. But that doesn't stop you from being vegan. And I'm sorry if we got off on the wrong foot there. It's just that you were very motivated just to give me a long story about your family history, which I don't need that. But I do appreciate you coming up here, so thank you for that. Let's start with maybe what do you think veganism means?
if I might have it mixed up with vegetarianism,
Okay.
but to my understanding, I thought it was you don't eat meat or anything that comes from an animal.
So why would someone who calls himself vegan, why do you think someone calls himself vegan want to avoid all animal products?
Well, one reason may be because they literally cannot digest such products.
Okay, so
Another reason
so
may
that's
be
plant-based
because
actually. Let me clarify. So if someone is consuming all plants or at least not consuming animal products for health, that's just eating a plant-based diet. Veganism is actually an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So if you were being exploited for money, someone was exploiting you and they were getting benefits from that they were selling, and I had an opportunity to give that person money to continue your exploitation to benefit from it, I would avoid doing so because I recognize that you're a sentient being that doesn't deserve to be exploited. Does that make sense?
right.
So
So like you don't
hearing
buy
that,
meat from the store
I don't give my money to people who
to
are exploiting
Walmart,
others. Yeah, I don't go to
right?
Walmart, but the point is that for animal products, someone must be exploited, used
Mm-hmm.
unfairly, right? For
Right.
our benefit. We're exploiting them. So I don't give my money to those people that are exploiting animals. Does that make sense? Similar to
Yeah,
how
that's
if,
commendable.
well, it's not commendable. It's what I would want if I
No,
was the
that like
victim.
what you practice is commendable.
Okay. Well,
Like
what's
what
stopping you
you
from
avoiding.
practicing it?
Well, like just because like I don't really know. I see you got like resources to figure out how to do it, but I mean, I personally like that's just not what I'm accustomed to. If that makes sense, I'm used to
Yeah,
just
I
grabbing,
understand. It's
a bag of
cultural.
ground beef, and you know what I'm saying. That's all I was saying coming in.
So
Like my, and that's my.
the motivation comes from what would you want if you were the victim? Let's say someone
Yeah,
put you in a
I get the
cage.
motive,
Yeah. Well, so the
but I'm
point
just
is,
explaining like.
hold on, walk through me because I don't know if you do understand. Just verbally
No,
tell
no,
me.
I do. I got you.
I just need, if you could just confirm to me, if you were the one in the cage, what would you want your oppressor to do? Would you want him to
I
keep
wouldn't
using you?
want
Go ahead. Sorry.
like all the, obvious answers, clearly, but
No, no. Tell me.
as
What's the obvious answer?
to not be oppressed.
Yeah, to not be used,
What?
right?
Right. Yeah.
So if you were
Exploited.
the one in the cage or being used at all, you would want it to stop. You would want your oppressors just to stop.
Hmm.
Okay, so what's stopping you from living in alignment with those principles?
I just don't have necessary. I mean, because I've been taught and told how
I
to
understand your
go about my
past.
diet.
Sure,
That's
I
what's
understand your past. I'm not judging you for
that's the
that.
reason I'm not vegan. You asked.
I know.
So
I'm not
the
talking
reason
about
I'm
your.
not vegan
I'm talking about
yet
from
is
here on.
because
I'm talking about after this
I've been taught and
conversation.
told my diet.
Okay, I get it. I'm not
Right.
Okay, hold on a second. Is there a delay? It seems like there's a delay. Okay, all I'm saying is, what is stopping you from here on out living in alignment with those principles?
I guess nothing stopping me. Nothing stopped me to begin with beyond myself not
Right.
accepting the teaching or telling of how to consume and go about consuming energy.
Okay, well, if you could find that you could be totally healthy and happy not using animals, would you do it? Would you stop using animals?
Yeah, if I was able to.
Okay. So, what I would suggest, as you noticed, take a screenshot of my resources, watch Dominion. It's free on YouTube. First, ask yourself, do I feel comfortable giving my money to these people? Because this is just standard practice. It's not a gotcha. It's like what the animals go through for you to use them. You should know, as a consumer,
I
you
get all
should
those
know.
processes. Yeah, I know
Well,
all that stuff.
it's
And
one
I
thing,
saw,
look, Joe, it's one thing to say you know, it's another to see it. It truly
yeah,
does
I've
make a
seen it.
difference. Okay, so if you've seen it, walk me through what a chicken goes through.
Torture.
Can you elaborate?
I'd rather not.
Because you don't know. That's what I'm
No, I
saying.
do
You need to go
know.
get
The
educated.
chicken,
Then tell me
the chicken watches every other chicken be beheaded before the
how
chicken
it.
is beheaded, and
Okay.
then that releases adrenaline in the chicken.
Oh, the
And before
adrenaline
the
is the
chicken,
bad part?
that's not the bad part. The
Oh, good.
chicken, the whole thing is the bad part. The whole
Yes. Removing their head
slaughterhouse.
is the bad part. You're taking someone's
Yeah,
life for for sensory pleasure.
I get it. I get it.
Okay. So yes, the chicken's heads are removed, but there's a lot more that goes into it. They're often shoved
Yes,
in small spaces, hung upside down. But you're right. Ultimately, all that matters is that they have their life taken from them. Is that fair?
absolutely not. And on top of that, they're stuffed with, foods that are malnutritious
Yeah,
to, increase the weight and just things that
you're
are
right.
like just not of nature and just
Yeah,
synthetic processes that ultimately harm the species overall and
yeah.
cause a de-evolution
So
in
why are
the
you still
genetics
supporting
of
it?
chickens and cows. And yeah, I get all that.
Okay. I do hear that
I
you're
prefer
being
not to
honest with me.
support it.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not. I don't want to support it. I
Okay.
never asked to support it. This is just what I've been taught and told on how to survive, and I've accepted this way of survival
But
and
but I'm telling
implicated
you,
it in my day-to-day life,
there's another
if that makes
way.
sense.
There's another way. Are you
I
willing?
know there's another way.
Okay.
I
Are
get
you
you.
willing to at least watch that documentary?
I'm not big on watching stuff. I don't
Well,
like
I
documentaries.
think you need to just see, because when you go into the store, those
Like
people,
I
just hear me out, hear me out. The people that are in these stores that run the store, they want you to buy products, right? They're going to make the environment
clearly.
inviting and comfortable. They want you to buy like animal products. I just want you to be prepared so you're not hypnotized by their advertisements, and understand and be an actually informed consumer and know what it is that you're demanding of someone else. That you're asking for someone to lose everything, their autonomy, their family, their freedom. And I hear that you hear me on this, but it sounds like you're still not willing to look at my resources and make a change. And I'm confused, because it sounds like you agree with me.
What kind of like what are, I mean,
Yeah, throw me
like these
questions.
processes where they simulate this on a mass scale, this is absolutely horrible. It's just
Well,
not
you even said, though,
zoo.
you didn't even describe all the other welfare issues, which I actually do appreciate. You went straight to what is the issue, right? Even a small farm that gives them a great life is going to eventually either remove their head or take their life in general, one way or the other. Because that's how we see animals, as products. If they become unprofitable, or they're starting to get past a tasty prime date, we take their life so that we can lick their insides, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Life is so much deeper than capitalism and this idea of ownership to begin with.
absolutely. I agree with you.
You
Yep.
don't own anything to begin with. No life form owns anything to begin with.
I agree. But especially not another sentient being who has their own purpose. Yeah.
Yep. Not even a fruit. A fruit is a form of life as well, and you can't own.
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Like that's also, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily sentient, however, it is a form of life, and that's you gotta respect and harmonize with those things, and that provide us our oxygen and take in our carbon dioxide, and you know what I'm saying. We gotta work together with our environment rather than working against it.
I agree.
Putting on a big old rubber shield around us and trying to deflect all of nature.
Yeah, there's actually a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. It's a long title, but they did a study where they looked at how much land we're dedicating to using animals, and it's 83% of our agricultural land. And if we stopped farming animals, if we stopped all animal agriculture, we could actually reduce our agricultural land by 75%, which is huge. That's like the land equivalents of America and Brazil combined. And we could rewild that, give that back to nature. All these animals that are like, you know, the wild ones that we claim are overpopulating could like go live in that space. They wouldn't be overpopulating anymore. You know, there'd be room for them to live. And at the same time, we can feed 10 billion people. So, like, if you're thinking about the environment,
hunger is an illusion.
Yeah, it's not so much
this idea of scarcity is an illusion.
That part where it seems like we don't have enough resources, I agree, has been made to be an illusion, or is an illusion that we are short on things, when really it's just that we're misallocating our resources. So, and you know, animals eat way more plants than a human does. So we're like having to put like 10 times the resources into raising animals just to get a fraction of that to consume. So, I mean, if you weren't even considering the individual that we're taking their life and enslaving them, just even the environmental impacts or the environmental impacts or the, environmental and resource issues, those alone should make everybody go vegan. Water use, land use, greenhouse gas emissions, all of this greatly reduced if we stopped raising animals. But it's not really the main reason you should go vegan. Like, if it was better for the environment to use animals, I'd still advocate for veganism, because I wouldn't want to be enslaved just because it's better for the environment, you know? Well, Joe, I just want to ask you one last question. I'll let you go, okay? How many more animals do you prefer to have exploited for you? Is it more than 0? Are you there, Joe? Oh, okay. I was just making sure. You just got quiet.
Because it's like a question. It seems like you're just attacking people for, you know, their
attacking. I thought the conversation went well there towards the end.
No, the conversation was good, but I'm just saying, like, that question specifically.
Well, I'll put it this way, like, if someone, so analogously, right, there was another time in our history where another sentient being was being enslaved by a group that was using otherism, right? You're not part of my group, so therefore I can enslave you. You know, that, would you say then that...
right, all I'm saying is, like, it doesn't matter what I would say to those things.
No. What I'm saying is,
at the end of the day, like, you asking that question is kind of like,
right. Let me finish my analogy.
I'm trying to make it look bad.
No. Let me finish my analogy so you understand why I'm pressing you. Because honestly, Joe, I don't care what you do as long as you're not harming others. I don't care what you do. Do whatever you want, right? I really don't care. The issue is that there's a victim with your choices, which is why I was trying to be analogous to like human slavery. You know, there's a victim. That's why human slavery is wrong. Even though slavery at one time was considered a norm and moral, and even was a huge benefit to those that weren't enslaved because it brought down the price of goods. It made things more available to those that didn't have access to certain things.
Like I said, this idea of Yeah, like I said, this idea of good and bad to begin with is just the majority consensus of what people agreed to
Okay,
be good or bad.
I'm not talking about
And at
though.
that given point
I'm
in
not
time,
talking about the
people agreed that
consensus.
that was good.
So do you
That's all the
think
good and bad
I just want to
is.
make sure I'm going to follow your logic backwards here. Are you telling me that in the 1800s when people were being enslaved, it was moral
The
in its
majority
time?
consensus.
It was moral in its time?
Morality, this idea of good or bad to begin with, it's just the majority consensus of
Joe,
what they agreed to be good or
Joe,
bad.
you're telling me that
So
if
technically,
no, you're forgetting
you
a
should know the
people.
answer to
You're
that.
forgetting a group of people. What do you think the slaves thought about that? You think they enjoyed it?
I'm not forgetting a group of people. I'm literally defining. I'm not forgetting a group of people. I'm literally defining morality.
What did the slaves think of slavery? Do you think they thought it was moral?
I'm sure they didn't think that was good.
Exactly. If someone was in that time standing up for enslaved people, saying we shouldn't enslave them, would you say that they're guilt tripping people? Or do you think that they're fighting for someone's liberation?
All I'm saying is the only reason it was able to be taken place to begin with was because a majority consensus of people agreed that this
Joe,
should go
you're
on.
making a fallacy. This is an appeal to popularity, and that's a fallacy. That's not logical. Just because a majority of people think something is right, that doesn't make it right.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
You just
But
said that
that's
because the majority of society said slavery was okay, that it was okay in that time. You just said that.
why it went on.
I'm not talking about what happened. I'm talking about
Because the
what is
majority of
moral.
consensus, because the
Joe.
majority of people
Oh, Joe. I think
agreed
I'm
to
gonna
do
let.
that. That's why it
I
went
think
on.
I'm
That's
gonna
all I
let you
said.
go. I'm gonna let you go. I don't think you're equipped for this conversation. I don't want him to embarrass himself anymore. Hey, Lori, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Good.
I missed you the other day.
The other day?
No,
Oh,
I
Friday.
missed you.
That's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I also
Yeah,
got
you're
started
on.
really late, so yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, like the other night or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Later. Yeah, later.
Oh,
So you just get on? Just start?
yeah, I've only been up for like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll get some people up here.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Dimples. So what was it that we had talked about last?
Me?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I haven't been here before. No.
Oh,
You did
okay,
talk to
okay.
me in like the yeah.
Okay. Are you
Um,
vegan?
I am not.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Bit of a caveat though. So since I've moved away from home, I grew up on a farm where my pop or grandfather taught me a great deal of respect towards animals. We had a wheat/corn farm. We kept a very small herd of cattle, around 3 or 4, depending on time of year. We would slaughter and eat one of those cows once a year. That'd be our main primary meat source. We also had a chicken coop, but during that time, my pop always said, if you intend to eat an animal, you've got to understand where it comes from, and you've got to be able to do it yourself. You've got to be able to kill the animal yourself. So almost a rite of passage in my family was when I was 10 years old, I went and helped Pop slaughter a cow. It's an awful sight, right? And it's one that did put me off of meat. So I feel though he helped me in that. I know it's an awful sight, right? But that's the reality of the world that we live in.
Would you take a 10-year-old to go kill an animal or unalive an animal? Sorry.
Honestly, right? As fucked up as it sounds, absolutely.
Okay,
Because
okay.
a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
stop you
people-
right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. Let's say that you come across your kid doing this to an animal for fun. Is that healthy?
Oh, for fun? Absolutely not. For
Okay.
fun, it was
So
never
you
fun.
want someone to be okay with it, but it's not okay if they enjoy it.
There's nothing to enjoy.
Then why do
in my
it?
opinion. More or less to provide for a family.
But
That
you don't
was
need
a
to, right?
tradition. No, that's why I have really pushed back on eating meat substantially over
So
the
why
last
would you
5 years.
why would you agree that it's good to bring a 10-year-old into a room with a sharp object to unalive an animal?
So it wasn't me at 10
I
years
know,
old.
I
when
asked
I
you, do you think that's
yeah.
a good idea? Would you do the same thing? And you said yes.
See, the thing is, the way in which that is represented in my mind is that it showed me exactly where the meat
What did
comes
that
from.
show
The
you? It
reality
showed you to discriminate. This individual is weaker to you, so now you can remove their
Actually-
head to lick their insides.
it showed me a lot greater deal of respect for the loss in which that
I'm
animal
sorry.
has to go through.
Who else do you remove their head out of respect?
Well, we don't chop their head.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, I feel like I'm playing gotchas, man.
Well, you said you watched this and it wasn't to remove their head, so I'm curious now, what did you do to this chicken?
Split the main artery, and
That's
then
not how
bleed
it's
out.
done.
It's a
So what they do is they usually hold the chicken down on a log, put their head out,
No,
and
this-
then they
this was-
use an axe.
this was a cow.
You said a chicken.
No, I said we had a chicken coop. This was a cow.
Okay, so how?
This is a
So
cow.
you would take a 10-year-old to watch a cow be unalived? You agree that's a good idea?
Yeah.
A
in all
10-year-old.
honesty,
A 10-year-old. They're not
Yeah,
even supposed to be
me-
watching gory movies.
That's not
Yeah,
a really
that's
great thing for a
like-
child's psyche to
That
see. you
yeah,
know.
that is insane. That is
I mean,
insane.
We have children right now working in slaughterhouses after the fact when they close to clean up the blood. Do you think that's good for their psyche at 10, 9, 8 years old?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is a completely different scenario. And can I just
No
quickly
different.
explain why?
Really, it's no different.
Yeah, it's
No
not.
different.
So the difference is that this singular animal is going to provide for my family, my mum, my brother, my pop, my
But you
nan,
have options.
my auntie. Right? Absolutely, we have options.
You don't
right?
need to take someone's life. It would be cheaper for me to take my neighbor's life and just pop him in my freezer, right? Wouldn't cost me anything but the equipment. But I respect him
So-
because I know he wants to live. I know he cares about what happens to him. And I can just go to the store. Does that make sense?
Another thing. Right?
No,
We
we're not
wouldn't- we
doing
wouldn't-
another thing. I want you to understand why we're here. I'm not here to hear your life story. Okay? I'm
I'm
here to
trying to
tell you.
explain my
No, I don't need you to
perspective of why.
explain. I don't need you to explain. What I want you to understand is that animals are sentient. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
tell me what sentience means.
Sentience means being able to comprehend the world in which we live in, and being able to recognize and understand what's going on in our surroundings. And
So
compute that.
sentience is the ability to have emotions, to have an experience that is subjective. They have their own experience of pain, joy, loss, right? Many of them do still look forward to things. They care about what happens to them. And in humans, I would argue it's the only quality that we care about in each other, right? It doesn't matter where someone was born, who they're born from, doesn't matter what they look like, how intelligent they are. We find it immoral to exploit someone who's vulnerable. So what is the morally relevant difference between the cows that you raise and, let's say, humans? Let's say I want to farm humans in the exact manner that you farm cows. Is it still humane? And if it's not, you need to tell me what is the morally relevant difference.
The morally relevant difference is that to the cattle that we raised, we had about a head of 5 cattle, right?
I got 5 slaves.
amount of-
I've got the head of 5 slaves.
Right.
Right.
The amount of love, respect, I got
I love and
beaten
respect my slaves.
because I forgot to go down and change out the water for the cattle,
I forgot one day to
30
give
minutes.
water to my slaves.
right? No, they had water. I'm just trying to.
Do you see
Show
the
the respect
parallel
of-
that I'm drawing?
So, more what I. Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do.
Do you
Right?
think that it would be moral to farm humans like the animals?
Well, no,
Why?
we can't. I mean, we're the same species. You
So
know that's.
that doesn't tell me why it's immoral.
I mean, come on.
Could I offer an
I
answer?
don't
I can verbalize it if you can't.
go crazy.
I'm crazy. You can't even
No, no,
verbalize
no, no.
why
I
we
said
respect each other.
no, no, no. I just said go crazy, as in like absolutely. You can verbalize my answer for me.
Okay. Is it
I was going
because just because we're humans, right? We can recognize ourselves in each other, meaning you only know that that you're having a subjective experience. You genuinely cannot tell if I'm having one or anybody else. You just assume that we are because you're having one. And you can see yourself in other humans. Hey, you kind of look like me. You got kind of a human look to you. You're probably also having a subjective experience. We've learned through evidence of science, through watching behavioral studies and looking at their anatomy, that animals are no different. They are sentient. They care about what happens to them. So if we care about that in humans, regardless of any other trait, their intelligence, what they look like, what they're able to comprehend, if we still find it immoral to exploit vulnerable humans, I'm saying the animals have the same qualifiers as those outliers. They care about what happens to them, they just have different priorities. So, that being said, since there is no morally relevant difference, it could be just as easily you in the cage. What would you want your oppressor to do if it was you?
Obviously,
You kind of cut out. Are you there?
right?
Oh, okay.
But
You're back.
can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I couldn't hear you for a minute. I heard right, and then you popped out.
Right. Well, obviously, I'd like to be able to live the lifestyle in which, at least on the farm, right, we were able to give to them was
Okay.
a very high level of life.
Go
Compared
back to
I've watched
slavery.
Dominion.
Go back to slavery here. There were people that owned slaves that took really good care of their slaves. They even gave them an allowance. They allowed their slaves to go off property and purchase things to even own themselves. But they were still slaves. They were still owned by somebody. Do you think that because they were given such high welfare that it was morally justified to continue enslaving them?
No.
Exactly.
No, it
So
wasn't.
even if you give your cows the best life, you're still demanding someone be living in existence for you. It doesn't matter their purpose or their preference. They're there for you to use. And if they don't provide you anything, you eliminate them because they're expensive to take care of. You don't birth animals into existence just for the fun of it. You do it because you have a motive. You want to benefit from it. That's using someone. That's taking a someone and turning them into a something.
I'll just quickly get to the point that I really, really wanted to make.
Do you understand that
main
I'm saying
contra-
it doesn't matter the welfare?
Well, would you rather people operate in a way in which
I'd
my
rather
family
people live
used to?
vegan.
Or-
Do you know what
I
vegan
understand
means?
that.
What's vegan mean?
Absolutely.
What's it mean?
The not using any animal products at all, anything that is sourced or derived from an animal.
So that is a result of veganism. That is not veganism. That's a plant-based diet.
Right.
Veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So a plant-based diet doesn't demand that somebody lose everything for me to have taste pleasure. Does that make sense?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So
No, that makes sense.
even the cows on your nice little farm, I recognize they don't want to be used. Even though they're here and we can't really release them because we've handicapped them, you can still give them the life that they deserve, which is caring about their best interests. Sending someone to a slaughterhouse or putting them in a barn where you're going to slaughter them is not in their best interests. It's only in yours.
Right. That's fair. I mean, like that's the reason why I don't eat meat anymore. Like, period.
Okay.
I only eat. I at this present point in time, I will have fish maybe once a month, right?
Okay. Well, do you understand that
Maybe
fish are
once a month
also
I'll treat
sentient?
myself to- No, I do, absolutely.
Okay. Even that one fish a month cares about what happens to them. If you were that one fish, right? You don't care that your oppressor is going to stop at you. You just don't want to be used, right?
No, I do agree. That's why I've been cutting down very substantially.
Even baby steps,
My
because
girlfriend-
baby steps are death steps. You're still taking someone's everything just so that you have convenience.
It's not really convenient.
There's an urgency to this, and I don't think you're understanding. Everyone cares what happens to them. You can't use people as stepping stones. If something is immoral, you should just stop doing it. Imagine you're talking to a racist or a grapist, right? They have immoral impulses. And it's like, I understand that there's a habit here that you want to break, but you're using someone, and I don't want you to take baby steps on this injustice, right? You stop doing the injustice, because if you were the victim, that's what you would want.
Right? Like, yeah, like,
Okay. So with
I
that,
do agree.
okay, with that in mind, I encourage you to look into dairy and chicken eggs, because I know they seem harmless, but they're
no, I
not.
cut out dairy completely.
Okay. Well, because you said vegetarian.
Yeah.
Or at least you
Oh,
said you
no,
don't
I
eat.
just-
You said you don't eat meat, so I usually assume that it means you're just vegetarian. Is there any other animal
No,
products
my
that you
nan-
consume?
My nan occasionally sends up eggs from her farm. That's about the only
Okay, so
source
do
of
you understand
dairy.
supply and demand in that sense? When it comes to your nan sending you
Yeah.
eggs?
Like, if she's got spare, she'll
Yes.
send them.
Yeah. Do you understand how that's working, though? You're still putting in a demand because you accept them. Your family loves you. It sounds like they want to make you happy. So if you continue to consume these eggs, she's going to continue to have chickens to give you the extra eggs. So
Well, I mean,
because
we're
you're
not currently breeding.
okay, she's going to give you eggs. That means she's going to continue exploiting chickens for you. If you stop accepting eggs from Nan, is she going to keep sending them to you?
Yeah, low-key don't think I can stop her, honestly.
I think you could. If you said, I'm just going to throw them away, she'll probably stop sending them to you. But you don't care about that. You only care about your convenience.
At the end of the day, they're gonna get thrown in the bin anyway. The chickens.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Or are you really just in your head about your pleasure? Why do you have to
I'd
eat
much
the
rather-
egg? Why?
Because otherwise, it's wasted food.
Yes,
It's a
throw it
wasted-
away. That chicken should not have been born into existence. Stop consuming their eggs. Because Nan keeps buying chickens, those chickens' brothers keep getting blended up in a blender. I don't think you understand. When someone buys a chicken, she has a brother. Because evolutionarily speaking, there's a male for every female. Where are all the boys? They're gone. They're unalived because you keep eating eggs. Nan wants to keep you happy. She's going to keep sending you eggs until you tell her to stop. You can do it. It's not that hard to stand up to Nan, I promise. Nan, I love you. Please don't send me any more eggs. It's not fair to the chicken.
I'm gonna head off after I make this comment. Go and get some sleep. It has been good talking with you.
I don't think that you understand, so it has been frustrating talking to you. You don't understand why it's wrong to consume a chicken's egg because you're not a chicken. You're not looking at it from the victim's perspective. Would you like to be born into existence just to be used by somebody else?
I mean, the chickens were gonna lay the egg anyway. They're
So
just
let's
chilling.
say that your mom now has a slave, and this slave makes something, I don't know, makes braided bracelets, and your mom is making bank off of these braided bracelets. Would you wear those braided bracelets knowing that it shows everyone that you're supporting someone having a slave? Or would you be embarrassed and not want to show that you now have a product that was directly made by a slave.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. This slave attitude is really good. It's a really good play to get people to
Well,
agree
the
with you. Not
point is,
play.
it's a sentient being,
You know
right?
what I mean?
They are sentient just like animals. They care about what happens to them just like animals. If animals don't have rights, neither do you. Because we're literally saying this group has a trait that we deem lesser, so it's okay to dominate. That's an oppressor's mindset. They care about what happens to them, and that's all that should matter. Just like with any human, it doesn't matter, how smart they are, what they look like, etc. It's about that they care about what happens to them.
I mean, look, I agree with 99% of what you've said. Right? But at the end of the day, me having
I'm
6
kicking
eggs,
dogs for fun. Are you going to tell me that I should just slow down my dog kicking, or should I stop?
like me having 6 eggs and
You're
foot
kicking
of sand at this
dogs.
point.
Yes. What happens? What does Nan
isn't
do
gonna-
with these chickens, by the way, when their egg production declines?
She
Puts them in a
chill.
soup.
No, she lets them chill and die of old age.
I'm
We've
sure.
never
Do you
slaughtered a
understand
single
that these
chicken.
chickens also have eggs that get stuck in their cloaca because they use so many resources to push these damn things out? Is your Nan taking them to the vet and actually taking care of her flock? Because most people don't. They turn them into soup because it's cheaper. How old is Nan?
My puppy. Nan is 79.
Yeah. There's no way that she's being gracious with them.
I can guarantee she is.
No.
As I said, we were raised to really respect the animals. Like,
How do you respect someone while using them without their consent?
I mean, compared to factory farming, like it's
What's wrong with factory farming?
the complete and inhumane treatment. Same
So
for
you
chicken
do
egg
care
farming.
about their experiences.
Absolutely.
Where
That's
are
why
the
I'm-
boy chickens?
They get in our farm.
Yeah,
We
where?
breed. We
Where are all the
Our
male
fucking-
chickens, dude? If you have so many females, there needs to be the same number of males. Where are they?
the males that would get raised and then slaughtered.
There you
and
go.
then
You have your
eaten.
answer. You're exploiting chickens. There you go. I'm sorry, Lori. The guy was very frustrated.
Alright.
It's fine that he had a nice tone. Maybe I should have met his energy. I was just frustrated because he's so focused on welfare.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah.
It's like, your grandmother or whoever Nan is could feed the eggs back to the chickens too and help them out. But
Yeah. There's a lot of things. If Nan was truly caring about them because they're her companions, she'd be caring for them in a way that doesn't matter if they lay eggs. In fact, she'd be concerned because if you have any other bird as a companion, the vet will tell you that's not healthy for them. It's very stressful on their body. Yeah. And this guy doesn't even care. He's like, chickens naturally do this. Like, no, you are harming. The cruelty is literally in their body. Like, they have to lay these eggs. You should be trying to encourage them
have
to
a choice.
not. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the way they've been so, genetically altered.
Yep. And as far as his welfare arguments, I mean, even if, let's say, in some crazy town pants that his type of slavery is somehow moral, other people that don't have access to his moral slavery would just go purchase eggs from other sources that are worse slavery. So it's like you're still
Yeah, right.
perpetuating it's okay to use animals as a resource regardless of their welfare. People will then just turn them into objects. Who cares about their experiences at that point?
Yeah, exactly. He should have just, I mean, hopefully he'll think about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I was a little rough and tough,
He's
but
cutting down on meat, but hopefully he'll think about it or give it some consideration.
well, he said he doesn't eat meat, but he says he eats the eggs that are
Or
sent.
fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. To me, that's still meat, but
Oh, yeah, that's true. It really is. I mean, because those chickens, what they go through. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to take a second before I pull the next person up. I just want to kind of like
Okay.
scan through the comments. Let's see, I'm going to check YouTube first.
Good.
Kind of see what's up. Exactly. Animals don't consent to being eaten. We can get nutrition from a plant-based diet, Taiban. B12 comes from a bacteria in the soil, Mark. Yes, you can get it from nutritional yeast. You can get it from fortified foods. But there's nothing wrong with the supplement. All right, let's scroll down. Eggplant's good.
Right, exactly. And they still fortify the animals you eat. They still have to inject them with B12 because they don't get it in the soil.
Exactly.
The soil is so depleted of it, they can't get it naturally.
I learned something new about cows. I didn't know that dairy cows, when they're pregnant, are sometimes given shots for calcium because otherwise they can get sick. I forgot what it's called. It's called milk crazy or milk madness or something like that. Because it's so strenuous on their body to be pregnant, like it is our bodies, and they can lose calcium. I thought that was great.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they lose everything. Calcium, nutrients, they lose everything in their milk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Animals cannot consent. I'm going to scroll down here. Let's see what's back down at the bottom, guys. Yeah. Use it? I don't know what that was a reference to. Oh, the lab-grown meat?
There are a couple vegans in there. Did you want to bring anybody else up, or are you just waiting?
Oh, if they're requesting, you can bring them up.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I'll see.
If anybody's requesting, I don't mind if you pull them up. As long as we don't go more than 3 on the panel. What? Nope, your body doesn't absorb B12 from the sources you named. You need supplements to live a healthy life. Case closed. Veganism isn't the way we were intended to live. Sorry, you can't cope with that. Do you have evidence that we can't absorb B12 through the sources I listed? Mark. It's unnecessary because you can eat something else, Morphe Sense. Okay, I understand that you're passionate about something, but you don't need to enslave and exploit someone to enjoy life. You can enjoy life without cutting someone open and licking their insides.
Are you getting very many kids, or?
No, I haven't had any children. Although now that I say that, right now they're gonna pile in.
No, I shouldn't have said that.
It's all
I was
good.
just checking the ones that are sitting in here.
I do have 2 waiting. I don't know. I feel like I've seen their names before, but I'm not sure. I don't really remember. I'm gonna read through the TikTok ones real quick here too. Let's see. What do you think of the vegan teacher? I think she's an activist for the animals. That's all. I don't really think much about her. Yeah, I know you can't really have roosters. Sometimes they can be aggressive.
Big Nick.
Hey, Big Nick.
Hi guys. So, that guy's prefacing that you can't have 2 roosters because they're justifying why you have to unalive the rooster. That's what's happening in that conversation. That's why people have that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
When what really they should do is that they should go online and they should try to find whoever in their area is running the local bachelor flocks. There'll usually be somebody in the area that has a flock of just boy chickens, because if you have just a flock of boy chickens, they don't fight each other. They form a little cohesive little gay bachelor flock, and they love each other, and it's super sweet. It's a super sweet thing to see. We've done it here. Our goal is to let our hens live their lives out, and then when they're done, we're only going to take male chickens. And because male chickens are some of the most abused animals in the world.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, I don't want to get into it, but, and also the guys down here, I hate the plants feel pain people, and I don't want to get too much into it, just to say that it's so dubious to sit here and preface that there might be a possibility that plants are feeling pain while ignoring the actual observable suffering that is happening before your eyes with empirical data. Like, this isn't some fantastical science theory. There's a paper out there, it's the NCPI, where scientists, a bunch of like biologists are like, stop prefacing that plants feel pain, and they wrote there's a whole paper on it.
Yeah.
And they kind of list out like some of the things that they include as scientists. And I know it can be a touchy subject for people that just, unalive animals for every meal. But, when you're thinking objectively and you can look at this stuff and see it, and it's just, there's observable suffering here. And they're like, there might be maybe a possibility that, and my response is like, I don't know. I find it dubious and kind of a weak argument, and they think they're like coming up with this genius thing.
Yeah.
I think back when I first went vegan, I'd be like, you can cut a potato in half and plant both halves in the ground, or eat one half and then still have a potato. But if you cut a cow in half, you just got a cow cut in half and it's not alive anymore.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's over.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the difference here. Like, the plant hasn't been injured. I can propagate the plant. I can take it and propagate it, and it lives on in other plants, no matter what.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of molecules that are doing a pattern, that are essentially making a biological pump, It doesn't have a preference. It's just these patterns happen to survive in their current environment. And they keep going until it's not suitable.
And it also feeds into the deeper defense mechanism of making it about me and you. Like, the vegan made me feel some kind of way. I saw somebody in there, you guys think you're better than me, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's like making it about me, and you're making it about the plants that we're eating so we don't harm the animals. They'll talk about literally anything but the animals in the slaughterhouse, and I think people like that, they want to make it difficult to center the victim. They really de-center the victim in the conversation here, and they're really annoying, and that's why I troll the chat in a vegan way a little bit down there sometimes.
I'm okay with that.
And, yeah, because it's just they tell on themselves. They don't really know about chickens. Like, you guys know some about chickens. We keep chickens here. My wife has taken like lots of chicken courses. We have a chicken vet up the street that we go to here whenever the chickens get ill. A lot of people will just let their chickens pass. They just, like, when a chicken got sick and we look everything up, they're like, oh, just let it die. But Alicia like cared for it and took care of it, and it like came back and took it to the vet, and they were like, this chicken's still alive. So we just cared for it like any other pet, and it survived for like another couple years when everybody said it was going to pass. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. That you rest. It's terrible where they came from, but that's a beautiful story.
It is. We even have like a chicken wheelchair for these chickens if they get too sick.
Yeah, see, that's genuine care for someone. Whereas these people that claim that, I give my chickens this nice life, like, you put them in a shack and then you get the eggs from them, and like you say, they get sick or are too expensive.
And then you got like Joseph Brown, like, who cares? I'm still going to eat the chicken. Like, it's between me and him. Like, bro, that's between you and the chicken, man. My chicken's here taken care of. I'm not going to eat any of them. They're happy. I'm not going to eat my pigs down here. I'm not going to eat any of these cats. Yeah. That's why I like to ask dudes that kind of like give me grief at work if they show me literally any pet. My first response, it's hard to stop. I'll just be like, did you eat it?
Yeah. Exactly. That is precisely it. You guys ready for the next one? I don't know if you want to hang out, Big Nick.
I might hang out unless some work pops up. If I suddenly dropped off, it's because work popped up.
Sounds good. I'm down. I'm totally okay with that. All right, The World Awakening. I know, Woe, that you've been asking to come up, but The World Awakening was there before you. But if you're still there, I'll bring you up next. All right, The World Awakening. Are you over 18?
I am over 18, yes.
Okay, I appreciate your patience. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I choose not to be.
Okay. Do you understand what veganism is?
I do understand what veganism is.
All right. Just so I know we're on the same page, let me know what you think veganism means.
So the veganism stance is that anything that is related to the exploitation of animals in terms of testing, food, clothing, that's deemed to be subjectively exploitation of that animal is then deemed not okay.
Okay. So, I mean, that's basically it. We're against the exploitation of other sentient beings. And exploitation meaning using someone unfairly for our benefit. Does that make sense?
It does, until you use the wording someone or somebody.
Okay. Well, I use the word someone because to me, a someone is a sentient being, an individual having a subjective experience and making preferences on those experiences because they are unique and they have personality. So I don't know why, if some individual has a personality, why they wouldn't be a person. I understand our definition is speciesist and says person means human, but again, we say that animals have personality, right? They are unique and have their own preferences. So that's why I use the word someone.
Right, and labels a human construct.
Yeah.
That's what labels are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll argue semantics, but in my understanding of the wording, someone would relate to a human being.
Okay, so then what is the morally relevant difference between a human and an animal that justifies farming animals but doesn't justify farming humans? What morally justifies that difference in treatment?
The output being food.
Human flesh can be food.
It could be, but
okay. So what is the morally relevant difference between animals or non-human animals and human animals? What is the morally relevant difference to explain the difference in treatment?
Well, one is a human and one is not.
You're begging the question now.
No.
Yeah. What makes humans so special? Because
we are humans, and
that's
again,
begging the question. You're not telling me. That's like saying, "Why is this blue?" and you're saying it's blue. That doesn't make sense.
Well, if that's an observation, if something's blue and I deem it to be blue, I'm right in that statement. Whether you disagree with that is your opinion. Okay. But I've answered the question.
You didn't though. What is it that you respect in humans so much? Do you do a DNA test? Is it about what we look like? Is it about our intelligence? Why are humans so unique and special that doesn't matter the human, you'll respect them? What is it?
Because in my opinion, there's a differentiation between a human and an animal.
I know, but you can't verbalize what that difference is. You can't. Apparently, you can't because all you can say is human. They're human. They're human.
When you shout at someone, it doesn't make you right, and it makes you sound less intelligent.
Oh, but it's because they're human.
You sound very immature.
Yeah, you are immature. I agree. You're very immature. You're using your group talk. You're saying because someone is not in your group, it's okay to ignore the fact. Would you shut the fuck up? What you're saying is if someone is not in your group, that it's okay to exploit them. That it's okay to ignore that they care what happens to them because you're benefiting from their exploitation. That's literally what you're telling me. Because they're not human. Well, that's just another type of racism. We call it speciesism. Because you're not in my species, it's okay for me to exploit you. Because you're not the same skin color as me, it's okay for me to exploit you. Because you're a different gender, it's okay for me to exploit you. Because you're a different sexuality, it's okay for me to exploit you. Do you see how you're using the same logic as these people who are prejudiced? You're saying, this animal I deem lesser than me, therefore it's moral that I do what I want to their body, regardless of what they want. Does that make sense? You can unmute yourself.
Am I allowed to talk now? Or are you just going to keep
so are you going to just be outraged at how I'm treating you, or are you going to answer what I was talking about?
I tried to answer a couple of times, but you shouted over me. And generally a debate is a two-sided conversation.
Okay, so go ahead and answer me then.
Are you going to interrupt and shout at
I
me?
might if you don't make sense or you start making logical
It's not a
fallacies.
debate. It's
Well, then we'll just move on. You're clearly too upset. It's okay. You can just hang out in the chat. There's other vegans that can talk to you. All right, well, you should be able to come up now. Are you over 18? Whoa, are you over 18? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm over 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm over 18.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
All right, so I'm not vegan because I feel like if you vegan, then you have to outsource. So you got to take supplements to keep up with your health.
What's wrong with taking supplements?
I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with taking supplements,
Okay,
but
so why aren't you
then
vegan?
that cuts into like your funding. It cuts into your funding of money.
You're telling me that a vitamin is more expensive than animal products?
I would say yes. I would say for a pack, probably.
So
like
you've
for a
never
regular pack of
never looked
chicken,
for vitamins before
yeah,
then?
for like $12. Every vitamin.
Do you
that
like
got
abusing
on the
animals?
shelf, probably like $12.
Do you like abusing animals? Do you like that animals suffer for you? Does that make you feel good? Yes or no? You can unmute yourself. It's right there. Do you want
No,
animals
I wouldn't.
abused for you? Yes or no?
No, I don't want animals.
Okay, I'm
abused.
glad we have common ground. So if you don't want animals harmed for you, do you think that there's something that we need from them to justify the harm that we're causing to them?
We need their nutrients. We need their meat. We need.
Okay, what nutrient do you think we need that we can't get from elsewhere, like another source? What nutrient?
Or like another source. Oh, true. There probably isn't another source where,
Right.
or there probably are alternatives that we can get.
Do you know what veganism means?
To preserve the life of other animals or something that like to preserve like
It's just
there
about
are different meanings of it. I would say to preserve like all animal life, like not harm any
No.
type of animal life.
No, it's actually not even about harm or any welfare. It's just against exploitation of sentient beings. So let's say someone is oppressing you.
Exploitation, not
Yeah.
be like harm.
So it can be harm.
That's harm.
It can be, but veganism is not about reducing harm. It's about not supporting exploitation. So although there's going to be harm that happens in the world, I can't eliminate all harm in the world, right? I can still strive to not demand it. For example, I can't eliminate all racism in the world, right? I can't stop people from doing stupid, horrible shit in the world. But I myself can control my actions and not be racist, right? Or at least strive to not be racist and learn when I make mistakes. So that's all veganism is. Veganism is doing the best that you actually can because you don't want to support making victims.
Okay, but then you still got the animals that they're always gonna like just like your analogy you said just because or like you just because you're not racist or like everybody else like if everybody else is racist and you're not racist something like you still got if you put it towards the what we talking about.
Well, so what
Just because
I was relating it to
you want to save
racism.
animals and everybody else not save but I'm saying though, like just because you don't want to eat animals or you want to preserve the life of animals,
Well,
but everybody else doesn't. That's
do you
not
think
gonna
that
stop
everyone
the
should?
killing of the animal.
Do you think that other people should not
So-
be racist?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you think, though, that you, as a singular person, can eliminate all racism in the world?
No.
Right. But if someone was being racist around you, would you speak up against it? Or at least think, that's bad, don't do that?
It would depend if it like no, I'm not going to buy no.
I personally wouldn't tolerate it. I would not like hearing that, and I would most likely yell at somebody. But at minimum, I would think, God, that is gross. Don't talk like that. So that's all veganism is. Veganism is controlling your actions. I'm not going to be racist, so I won't be racist. Being an activist is speaking up out against it. So if someone's racist around me, I tell them to shut the fuck up. But veganism is just about you not being speciesist towards the animals.
So my reason for like just not being able to afford veganism and like trying to be healthy with just the meats, that's not a good reason to not be vegan.
I just want to ask, do you genuinely want to be vegan right now?
I mean, yes, but it doesn't seem like there's any like reason to like really go into being vegan.
Well, why would
like,
you said yes? Why did you say yes? Yeah, so why did you say yes to going vegan?
Why I say yes to going vegan? Yeah. I would say,
like just a second ago, I asked you, if you could find everything on a vegan diet, you knew you could be healthy, would you go vegan?
Yeah, if I could, yeah, but you can't.
Okay, so you said though, so the only thing I'm concerned is that you said that you would go vegan, but then you said there's no reason to. So why did you say yes, I would go vegan if you don't have a reason to?
No, it's the way you said it. You said I think you added something onto it like where you could be healthy with it, and then I said I would if you could be healthy with it.
All right, so it's just about information
no real
then.
Way to be healthy with it.
It's just about information then. Like you just don't know if you can be healthy on a vegan diet. Am I understanding correctly?
No, it's like, so I know you can be healthy on a vegan diet. Like you can take supplements, but then you have to outsource. So you can go and then like that's lab made, like that's things that are made in
I don't eat lab meat. I've had Beyond.
No, I'm not saying like lab meat, but I'm saying like when you go for supplements, all your supplements that are made in the lab, like that's stuff that you would take. Like
what's wrong with that?
From the animal, like it's like.
Hold on.
I'm saying though, like most of the supplements that you eat.
I kind of want to squash this fear of labs.
They would take from the animal.
Whoa, hold on a second. So a lab is clean, sanitized, right, regularly.
A lab is
animal products. Animal products are raised in poop, vomit, blood, shit. When they test the product, no. Whoa! I just want you to hear me here. Just hear me. I want you to understand. Right. When you're afraid of a lab is sanitized, clean, and controlled. Whereas a farm, pathogens are flying everywhere. They're actually a huge source of disease. Do you understand that a lab?
So much as
it is. Do you Okay, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. I really don't think you understand what I'm saying. These farms are literally. No, whoa! Stop.
Cut you off.
I know. Stop. 75. I think it's like 75% of our new and emerging diseases are zoonotic, which means we're getting them from animals. We do that through farming because we're taking a bunch of mammals or individuals that breathe, and we put them together, and they're like breathing the same air. If we put a ton of humans in a tight, dirty space, they're going to spread pathogens. So these animals, they get infected by wild animals because often these farms are on the edge of forests. And these wild animals that have diseases that they have symbiotic relations with spread to animals that don't have symbiotic relations. And that's how we get all these different types of flus. So those then get passed to the farmer or the help, and then those get spread to the town and spread across the country. These areas, you're afraid of a lab, but a farm is like perpetuating disease regularly.
Can I say this real quick?
I guess, because I yapped for a minute.
Those diseases that like when like the diseases that be in the meat, they aren't like
no. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. No. I'm not talking about when you consume their flesh. I'm talking about when you farm the animals when they're still breathing. When they exhale, little water droplets come out, just like you. I don't know if you remember when we went through the Rona time period, you had to wear a mask, right? Because little particles come out of your mouth. That's how you spread all these diseases. These animals we raise are doing the exact same thing. That's how we get
So you're saying
disease.
So you're saying the environment that we house them in are very uncleanly, so that's how we form diseases.
It is.
That's
That's
what you
part
saying.
of it. Yeah. It's not the main issue.
Okay,
That's not why
but
veganism exists. But I'm just
if
saying you're afraid of a
okay,
lab, and I'm
but
telling you what a farm
for
is.
like just for this, I'm not saying I'm afraid of the lab. I'm saying I'm afraid of the
Okay.
chemicals that are being concocted in the
What
lab.
chemicals?
So let's
What
say
chemicals?
let's say
What?
okay, hold up
Stop! You're fear mongering. Stop running away.
No, I'm not fear
Yes,
monger. I'm
you
not
make
fear
you
monger.
stop,
I'm
stop,
just saying.
stop. You're making claims and running away from them. What chemicals are they putting in there?
All right, hold up though. You okay?
No,
What disease?
you need to tell me the chemical. You're running
No,
away.
I'm saying though. I didn't.
Okay. No. If you're gonna make claims but not like have something to back them up, I'm gonna call you on it. Okay? There's no chemicals being put in your vitamins. It's just the vitamins. Okay? You can look for vitamins that are clean, that have been tested by a third party. There's things you can do to like find nice vitamins. We have Google. You have a plethora of AI search engines that you can ask to find clean supplements that are inexpensive and in your area. You can follow my resources. Vegan Easy will actually help you find stuff in your area. They have a team of people that make a dietary plan. It's a dietitian makes a meal plan for you. There's options, but it sounds like you're on the edge, but you're not listening. So I want you to maybe hang out in the chat for a minute. You were up here for quite a while, so maybe you'll learn something if you hang out in the chat. Maybe watch Dominion. Ask yourself, do I really want to pay for this? That might get you the motivation to, remove animal products from your diet. Follow the vegan Daily Dozen. Yeah, you might have to take a B12 supplement. I don't know why that's a big deal. That's fine. Yeah, you can boycott AI. You don't need to use it. Totally fine. I understand that it's owned by billionaires that are evil, but you guys are all here on TikTok, who is also owned by rich people. So you kind of, I don't know, you're being kind of weird. You care about one thing, but every time that you're on social media, that takes space on a server, right? That server requires water to keep cool or energy to keep going. You boycott AI, but you're here on TikTok, so you're not really being consistent. Hey, Kroot, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, it's kind of a particular perspective that I have. I think that some animals deserve to die and some animals don't.
Okay, what deems an animal like that it's worthy for them to die? Or unalive, sorry, we're on TikTok, so try to say unalive.
Oh yeah, unalive. Well, some animals just have better personalities.
Okay, so it's just about what you think of them, their extrinsic value?
I mean, have you ever met a chill crocodile?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I've never met them, but I've seen them.
Are you a capybara?
Hmm?
Capybaras are the only animals that crocodiles won't attack.
Did you just ask me if I'm a capybara?
Yeah.
Of course I'm not. I hope you can see that I'm a human.
Well, okay, let's get back on track. So,
okay. So what is what is veganism? Let's start there.
So veganism is basically abstaining from consuming any type of animal product.
That is something we do, but veganism is actually it's an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So as a result of that, we do eat a plant-based diet. So if I could give you an example, I've been using this example. If you were being oppressed and I had the opportunity to benefit from your oppression by paying your oppressor, and that's the only reason that they're oppressing you is because they're getting money, I would avoid giving them money because I know you're a sentient being and care what happens to you. And if I were you, I wouldn't want my oppressor being supported. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, it's not about oppression to me. Like I said, I believe some animals, they should be oppressed and they should die or be unalived.
Okay, well, I think that you should be oppressed and enslaved and used for your flesh.
Right. So, how long have you been a psychopath? Let's start there.
Probably, I'd say since Florida.
What was that?
I don't know. It was a crash out, I guess. It's pathetic. Yeah.
It's really disturbing to hear someone say that they think that some animals should die. Like,
Yeah.
because their personalities, like, what? That's what?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me at all.
I'd hate to hear what he thinks about other people that are different. You know, that the guy seems a little unhinged.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if someone ever said, "Oh, I enjoy taking the life of animals or harming animals," we put a red flag on that person.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be very concerning.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, like Jeff Dahmer. That's how he started.
yeah, a lot of them started that way. It's disgusting. Well, oh, I didn't share the link. Hold on, YouTube can't come in here. Let me grab this. I'm going to respond to comments a little bit because I want to see if that helps retain some people in here. If you guys want, you can also respond to comments. Oh, let me pin this. Okay. I'm going to look at the YouTube comments first real quick. They're on a delay, like 30 seconds. It's so long. I hate how long it is. Oh, it's mostly vegans in here. Soldiers cannot march long with vegan diet. See the logistics of U.S. Marine meal plans, heavy meat diet. Actually, I'm pretty sure that if you tell the Marines you're vegan, they would provide you a diet that would still give you enough energy to do everything you need to do, just vegan. So, I don't know what you're talking about. Lies? Yeah, we're talking about rights, exactly, vegan anthem. It's not we hate animals, it's need. Well, what is it you need from the animals? So you're happy I schmurder rabbits every single night so I can farm your carrots so you eat and they don't? Explain. Why are you unaliving rabbits every night?
I mean, why does he assume I'm eating his carrots?
Yeah, that too. You sound like a terrible farmer if you're not able to keep, that many rabbits out of your carrots. We can improve crop farming. We can't improve exploiting someone. You still have to steal someone's autonomy, freedom, family in order to be able to use them for the products that we do. Whereas when you're protecting your carrots, these free animals are coming in on their own volition. It would be better if they didn't, right? You should put deterrents up, or walls, fences, nets. You have so many options. You don't need to unalive them. Your first step shouldn't be unaliving. It should be covering, making walls and perimeters, and maybe improving the habitats around you so that they're more inclined to stay on the perimeter and not come in. There's actually Ozell. You should look up Ozell if you're actually a farmer or a large-scale gardener. He tells you how to grow veganically and with harmony with your surrounding area.
Right? These people keep talking about forcing it or forcing people into sun. Like, dude, we're not your parents. Nobody made you come here. You don't have to listen to this. Isn't Sunday church.
Yeah.
Nobody put you in a little tie, the little clip-on tie with your slacks, and drug you down to the church and made you listen to Grandpa give the sermon. That's not what it is.
No. Yeah, I'm not here preaching. I'm here just saying, hey, I think we have similar principles, but you're just not living in alignment with them because you're benefiting from whatever's happening. I'm not okay with you schmurdering rabbits, Andrew. I think it's wrong. You should find another tactic to protect your garden. Should I finish straight up forking my beans out of the can, no rinse? Oh yeah, I've done that. Although the aquafaba can make you a little more farty. I think it has fiber in it, but yeah, you don't need to rinse your beans. Okay. All right, let's see. It's not schmurder, it's survival. If you're actually out in the middle of nowhere and you genuinely have no other options, of course that's understandable. I wouldn't say it's moral. You're still using someone, taking their life when they wanted to live. But it's understandable. I'm not going to hold it against people in survival situations. But they should, even if you're living in an area with little to no access, you should still understand the gravity of what it is you're doing, because the only way that change is going to come about is if you speak up. That's it. You can't just remain silent and hope things get better. Is it immoral? Is it immoral when to bear eats a human? No, because bears don't fully understand morality. They're just doing what they do to keep themselves safe and going, whatever they were taught. Oh, I found food. This is a free source of food. I'm going to keep coming back here. And also, bears don't typically go after humans. They usually come in if they're hungry, right? They're coming in looking at the garbage and such, or whatever food we have around us. I don't really know bears to hunt humans. We're not calling non-vegans bad people. We're saying that non-vegans most often share the same principles as vegans, but they're not living in alignment, and they're harming someone. They're using someone. They're making victims. Yeah, it's not the person, it's their actions. They're enslaving someone. They're demanding exploitation. How many rabbits do I have to kill, or unalive, excuse me, to raise a cow? What does the cow eat, Andrew? Don't you have to have crops where there are, quote, crop deaths? Yes, so animals that we raise, Andrew, eat more plants than humans do. If we stopped animal agriculture, we could reduce our ag land use by 75% and rewild that. And we would still at the same time be able to feed 10 billion humans. We could greatly reduce the crop deaths. And then on top of that, improve growing crops, how we do that. It's the natural part of life, eat or be eaten. I'm sorry, when I go outside, that is not the case. It is, humans are the dominant ones, and we can choose to exploit or not exploit. Carnivore benefits mental health improved. Okay, that's just not based on science. If a hurricane destroys large crops one year, what are the animals that you use going to eat? Yes, if any natural disaster was to wipe out any kind of crop, you're not going to be able to feed the animals that you want to consume. Thank you, U-Tops, for giving Andrew some evidence. Maybe he'll go educate himself. You can... Andrew, we have plenty of land to grow human food. We are taking up most of that for animal agriculture. There's a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impacts Through Producers and Consumers. Go look up that study. I don't know if that's the study Andrew gave you, but that's another one if not. Okay, we have a request. Come on up, Kennedy. Oh, I noticed that Frisia and Lori left. It's okay, guys. I appreciate you coming up, though. Thank you for being up here. All right, Kennedy, are you over 18? Hello? Oh, I can't hear you if you leave the app. Oh, okay. Must have been an accidental request. The World Awakening, we already spoke. If you have something new to say, put it in the comments. The world is awakening. Vegan Anthem, why shouldn't we genetically breed humans who can eat grass and farm them? I don't understand. I hear that humans taste like bacon, right? That's like one of the best flavors in the world, I hear.
That's some wild work. That's some real, there's a lot to unpack there, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to go read that. I want to go get that book on my Apple books, The Tender is the Flesh.
Oh.
About the vegan author that wrote the book about them like farming humans and like the ethical implications. I'm super curious about it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just looking at history in general, you're like, oh, I mean, in the past, humans did think there is no morally relevant difference at some point. Some of them, they're like, what's the difference? It's just another animal. It's about objectification. I mean, some cultures, it was because they were honoring whoever it was they were consuming. I don't really see how that's honoring
Sometimes
someone.
it was
But
superstition. Sometimes they wanted to just like eat their enemies and like
that
consume their like
too.
powers and stuff. That was like some wild, like just
that is
tribal
wild.
stuff.
That
you
is
know?
wild. Yeah, when they were like, I'm going to consume the power of my enemy, it's like, oh, gross. That's like your cousin. Duh. Yeah, gross. Gross, 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 gross. I mean, and then you think about the animals, like, it really is no different. You know, like, when we think about cannibalism and it gives us that ick feeling, it's like, animals are no different. They're the same kind of squishy bag that we are, and they care about what happens to their squishy bag, just like we do. Yeah. Gross. Anybody want to come up? Oh, no, the world is awakening. We already spoke. I didn't see your comment, though. Did you leave it and I just didn't see it? Morals are subjective. Okay. Yes, I don't disagree. But don't you agree that everyone who has a subjective morality should respect you, regardless of their subjectivity, right? They shouldn't try to cross your autonomy regardless of what they think is right and wrong. They should mind you because you have your own purpose and wants. Okay, we have humans that don't talk on TikTok, build bridges, don't discuss morality. Is it moral to exploit those humans then?
I got pigs that down here that are smart enough to dismantle a gate and escape. They understand the concept of escape. They understand the concept that rain makes the ground wet, and that wet makes a loose pull, and a loose pull makes an easy to shake gate, and now they can escape and go root the neighbor's yard who's trying to sell their house. So I get text messages. Like, we have to be very crafty to stay ahead of the pigs. They're super smart when it comes to like escapism, but they're really nice guys, and they have different personalities. The both of them. I could talk like all day about like what one likes versus the other. They like different foods. They like different activities. They like each other, which is good. Which is why I got one to hang out with the other. So
That is good.
Be lonely.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, sometimes, animals don't like to be around others, but it's good that they bond it, or at least that they, can tolerate each other. That's good. Yeah. I personally, every time I've had some kind of companion animal, I've always wanted them to have a friend because it's like, we can't communicate. And I'm sure you want someone that you can at least relate with on how you look and maybe communicate with. Because
he was out hanging out with the roosters. He would like sit there. Like, I have pictures of him hanging out with the rooster. Like, him and the young rooster were like besties before and they still like, I think that rooster passed, so he's not around anymore. But like, it was funny because when it was just him, I remember I was watching him, and he was like laying in the grass, and like the rooster would crow, and like as soon as the rooster would crow, like his tail would flick. He had like never seen one before. I had rescued him from like some breeding operation, and he just thought the roosters and chickens were fascinating.
Wow. Oh. That's so sweet. It's interesting to watch individuals when they're outside of being oppressed, like their interests and their curiosities coming out. That's sweet. I'm glad that you provide them that space to be able to at least be themselves somewhat, We need more places like that. That's hard. I'm half vegan. I eat many veggies, but that was my experience when young children, my first instincts tested and I responded that way. My house helper helped me and call me kind. My cousins say, okay, I'm not going to finish that. That got a little discriminative towards the end. You can't be half vegan though, okay? It's either you're vegan or you're not. You're for animal rights or you're using others and exploiting them for your benefit. Hey, Judge, I saw you request. I'm sorry I didn't pull you up. Hey,
Hello.
Hey, are you over 18?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I've just found that it's a hypocritical, unattainable position.
Okay, so it's hypocritical and unattainable. Do you understand what
Sure.
veganism means?
Yeah, you want the ethical treatment of animals, right?
I'm against supporting the exploitation of sentient beings. I don't want to give my money to those that are using animals when it's unnecessary.
And yet we harm animals regardless. Even
Yeah,
if we
but
didn't
I'm
eat
not
them.
demanding it. Do you see what I'm saying? I can only
Sure you
control.
are.
I can
In
only.
consumerism.
Would you shut up? I am not demanding that someone be exploited for me. When I have the option to say I'm not, like if I have an option, like I can go without, or there's an alternative, I do that. Because I genuinely don't want to use somebody. Yeah, there are obstacles in this world that sadly we're going to have to deal with. But how do you make change? Do you just shut up and deal with it? Or do you stand up and speak out?
Are you pretending you can't be a vegan who
Can't,
is like
am
an
I
Amish,
pretending?
Amish vegan?
Am I pretending to be a vegan who's
Yeah,
Amish?
why can't you be Amish vegan?
Why would I be Amish? I'm not religious.
Oh, I can. Well, you don't have to be the religious part of it,
Yes,
but
you
in terms
do.
of being
That they're
off-grid-
religious. They're a very
No, I'm
heavily
just saying that-
religious organization. So I wouldn't be them because I'm not
Let me clarify.
religious. I don't think that
Let me
technology is the devil.
I can't clarify.
No, because they think
Yeah.
that technology
I'm talking about
is
the off-grid
yeah, but you're
aspect of
you're
it.
distracting from your own choices. You can live vegan, and I don't really want to talk to you because I'm pretty sure you're vegans as hypocrites. So you can go suck a fat one, whatever that fat one is.
That guy was super aggressive.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that that's vegans are hypocrites. His account name is usually that. I don't know if you've come across him. Hey, Lucas, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so why aren't you vegan?
Because I think in my 70 years of life, it's not important.
You're
It
what?
doesn't change anything.
You're how many years of
In my
life?
70 years, my
17.
70 years that
Okay. Well, you got to be over 18 to be up here. Yeah, Judge, I'm not going to bring you back up. I'm pretty sure that you're just here to make an idiot of yourself. 70 my foot. You're not 70. That's a joke. Yeah, I see that, Dan. Thank you. Yeah, I don't really care to talk to people that are here to fight. I'm here to talk to people about the animals. Most people agree that you know, harming an animal when it's unnecessary is immoral, right? And although veganism isn't about harm, the point is you recognize that an injustice is happening, right? If I was to be kicking a dog for my own benefit, for the enjoyment and the exercise, and let's say it's a tradition, right? You still wouldn't accept that. You would say that's immoral. I would hope.
I mean, I hate to do it, but I got to give that troll a little credit because I've never heard Amish, though. Like, I've learned,
I mean,
like, I've heard the Inuits.
yeah.
Like, I've heard folate. My buddy likes to throw him randomly. He's like, "Where's your folate?" You know, like jokingly. And
I don't disagree. It's the first time
The
I've heard someone say
Amish.
Amish. Usually they go for someone who's indigenous somewhere.
I
Yeah.
feel like the Amish are kind and caring people, and if you laid it all out, they'd probably be like, okay. They'd probably be really kind about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure yeah, from what I understand, I honestly have never met an Amish person, but it does sound like they genuinely, because they believe that it will help them in heaven, they genuinely will help others out. And I'm sure they would listen too. But, and I'm almost sure that they could figure out how to be plant-based, and I have almost no doubt that there is one, you know, a group of Amish vegans. Just because they're not on social media doesn't mean they don't exist.
Yeah, I remember I got picked up by Mennonites. I was stranded out in rural Arizona after camping. I got a flat tire and managed to get a ride to the highway, and the guy that picked me up which is a little bit like, it's like they're like Amish, but they drive cars and have computers, you know?
Yeah,
And,
they're like on that middle edge or something.
Yeah, and they were so nice. I remember that trip. He like took us down and helped us get our tire, and then dropped us back off next to the road that was like 15 miles back to the camp. I think a ranger helped us, but anyway.
Aww.
Right, the Amish though, I'll remember that one. That's
Yeah,
pretty solid.
that is pretty solid. That is pretty solid. Yeah. If his argument really was about necessity, yes, necessity is one thing. I'm not going to hold it against somebody who is living in necessity, doing what they have to survive. But it still doesn't mean they don't need to know the gravity of the situation. Like you said, I'm sure if someone was to speak to an Amish or Mennonite, or a group of them, that they would be, open to hearing things, and I'm sure some of them would make the change. And if they don't have the options, I'm sure they would make the options. But anyway, yeah. It doesn't matter what your culture is. It doesn't even matter about what your situation is as far as access to resources. It's about understanding, the situation that animals are sentient and they care what happens to them just as much as you care about what's happening to you. So, okay, Patriot, I guess, come on up. Hi, are you over 18?
Yes, and I just want another concession where you guys run.
Wait, were you the other, was that the same guy? Was that Judge?
Did you just open up with, I want another concession? Like, what is that? Concede what? Like,
yeah.
Vegans are hypocrites. Like, okay, bro, go back to, like, I don't know, just...
the hole that you crawled out of.
Call her and say you're sorry, bro. Just call her and say you're sorry. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to be online taking up your time with this, bro. Just call her and say you're sorry. I don't know if it's your mom or your girl or what, bro. Just call her and say you're sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually what it screams to me, too. Just say you're sorry to her. Oh, my gosh. Well, does anybody else want to come up and talk? Does anybody else have a really good reason to not be vegan? Patriot, if you have such a great reason, just put it in the chat. There's vegans there. They'll talk to you. It's funny that...
dude are mad about the septum piercings because it means you're over 18, right?
Yeah, that's true. You can't get piercings if you're under 18 unless your parents sign for it. Oh, hello. Beautiful Starum? Star. Are you over 18?
I'm 47.
Beautiful. I love talking to adults. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, I like meat, and vegan is also, is, unless I'm mistaken, is also like the welfare of the animal.
No, it's not about the welfare.
It's not about the products of the animals as well that they use for the products?
We avoid using them if that's what you mean, but that's not what veganism is about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like meat.
Okay. Yeah, so veganism is just the rejection of the exploitation of other sentient beings. So if I can avoid demanding someone's exploitation, I avoid demanding it. That's veganism.
So you don't like animals in zoos and stuff like that?
Oh, no, because they're...
The reason I say that is I watched a documentary yesterday because there was actually a certain animal that was going extinct. So they were able to breed to make more animals of that particular breed. So they won't go extinct.
Do you want to be bred?
That's actually pretty good.
Do you want to be bred?
If there was only one of me and for the humanity to be able to keep moving, yes.
Okay, so imagine the individual they bring in you're not attracted to. You don't like him.
It's going to be another animal, the same thing. Like two rhinos.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
one rhino. It's white.
That's okay. That's okay. They can't survive.
Okay.
They can't survive this current environment. We shouldn't be fiddling with other people's bits. If they want to procreate, they can procreate. If they don't want to, what do we call that when you force procreation? Hold on. What is it? What would we call it if we were to force breed a human? What would you call force breeding humans?
I know what that's called.
Well, okay, so it would be called grape, right?
Yes.
So are you telling me that there's a situation in your mind where graping a human is moral?
No.
Okay. So why is it okay for this rhino?
Because there's only two white rhinos.
You're not listening. You're not listening.
Okay.
It's not okay to fiddle with others' body parts, right? To make them have babies. This environment does not support them. Why are we making more of them?
It's not okay for you to force your beliefs upon us.
You're saying it's okay for us to force our hand up an animal's vagina.
Wait.
To save the population?
I'm just a second. I'm also 47 years old. And I'd just be curious how anybody would be like forcing anything on you. Like everything I did here was like my own choice. I mean, the doctor encouraged me. He's like, Nick, your cholesterol is high and stuff. And, I was like, hey, honey, you guys say you love animals a lot. Should we really be eating them? My wife like loves animals, and she's an adult. So she like saw the new information and then kind of changed her behavior. And, she's also like our age. So, I mean, no, I would like to preface that nobody's forcing anything on you. We don't live with our parents anymore. Nobody's taking you to church. Like, you're here of your own volition, right? So really the conversation is like on the bottom of it, do you care about animals?
You're telling us that being vegan is better than anything in the whole world when we choose to do what we want to do.
That's your interpretation of what we're saying. Mm-hmm. This is like a you thing.
And I told her that I chose meat, and that's what my belief is.
So you chose violence.
Oh God. No.
I mean, how do you get meat? God.
I thought you could have some common sense.
Hug him to death?
You're destroying plants, and that's you're destroying plants, and the stuff you write on, that's from trees. And if you're like really a tree, you're destroying oxygen.
I feel like you're coming from a place of emotion here.
Why don't you just
kind
use
of a chip on your shoulder? Like, we're not your enemy.
Like...
We're not your enemy, just so you know.
Well, you stick to eating your stupid plants, and then.
Well, good luck with that. I'm gonna mute again. I'm doing dishes.
I appreciate you stepping in, though, because I was getting a little more heated, and I appreciate you trying. It sounded like you were kind of de-escalating, and then she just still wanted to keep it up here. So she just felt offended from the beginning. You're telling me what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you your choices have a victim. That's it.
I mean, I'm 47 years old, and I'll admit that I stopped eating meat. I mean, it was partly a revelation about animals with some conversations I was having, but around the same time, I ended up in the hospital for a couple of days. And when I left the hospital, I think I only ate meat like once or twice after that, and I never ate meat again. And before that, I'd already been like not eating dairy and stuff. So it was kind of this road. I don't know if it was a slow road because I just stopped eating meat overnight, and I never considered myself like a vegetarian or anything else. I was just watching. I got this young son here, and like, my parents are like all crippled, diabetic, and I'm like, am I going to be like that, or am I going to be like hanging out without an oxygen tank at their events when I get old? It's about like animals and yourself and the world and planet. There's so much here that people don't consider.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's so many reasons to consider looking at this aspect. Definitely the main reason should be that you don't want to demand exploitation, but it's absolutely worth knowing the benefits of you can be healthier, you can be happier, you can be, there's a lot of benefits. The environment, our health, the animals, there's just perks all the way around. But it's about if you want to do that for others, or if you are just stuck in doing the same thing and not willing to change and step outside your blinders. You do have to do that. That's it. I would say you have to be open to information. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense to you. A lot of people, for some reason, they just have this, well, that's not for some reason. We've been told since day one, animals feel different, animals are different, this is okay. And that's just been so ingrained, we don't even ask why anymore. We just do. Oh, the world awakening. I don't want to bring you up. I thought I had someone else request. Well, let's take a look at some of these comments. Let's see. Anybody? It looks like a lot of vegans in here. Hey, vegans, I'm glad you're here. Tell me you're from Portland with telling me. I'm not from Portland, but I'm near Portland. What? Oh, yeah. Forcing is weak shit. I agree. Dandelion gum. Virinegridosteridish campaign. I can't read that. I'm so sorry. I am an ignorant American. Greetings. Oh, hey, Genderless Enigma. It's good to see you in here. They're one of the people that does street outreach with me. It's good to see you. Tell me you live in Portland without telling me you live in Portland. Well, I don't live in Portland, so I don't know how to answer that. Oh, Mark, please tell me you're ignorant to knowledge without telling me. Knowledge that human body was clearly designed to consume meat. Designed? I mean, yes, our ancestors did consume animals, but the science shows us that we actually thrive using plants and have better body or life markers, right? People are having longer lives and higher quality years of that life. Yeah, designed. Okay. Exactly, Dandelion. Yeah. Who are you doing anything for Thanksgiving? Oh, that's a good way to put that. I have a big fake soy turkey. It looks like a turkey because my mom is not vegan and I'm trying to pull her this direction. So I'm hoping that feeling like we're still doing the cultural thing will, make her not dig her heels as hard. All right. Hey, Hudson.
Ordered that Juicy Marbles John Candy bundle.
Oh, that's a child. Goodbye. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I roast up all the little pieces of meat that I got.
They're
so good.
What was the brand? I think I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yet?
Yes, actually. Yes. We have a vegan grocery store over here and they sell a bunch of their products.
They actually carry them.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 2 vegan grocery stores. Hella spoiled over here.
What?
Yeah, they're fully vegan. They're a little more expensive because I don't think they get the same subsidies as other grocery stores, probably because they're so small.
Yeah.
But I love going in there because it's like this feeling of I don't have to look at everything. I don't have to read the back of everything. I still do, but I don't know. There's something about being in an all vegan grocery store. It just feels more comfortable.
I'm in the woods. I'm lucky to have a grocery store a couple miles away, but it's like the only grocery store and it's hella expensive. And
yeah,
there's definitely there's a vegan store. There's an all vegan store like 2 hours away, 3 hours away. It's in the Bay.
Oh my God.
Drive all the way to the Bay to Hungry Planet to get to a vegan store.
I'm sorry that's so far away, but that's awesome that there's one.
There's vegan restaurants down there in Sacramento, so I can go there and eat, and it's delicious. But and they usually have vegan food at work. They have really, really good vegan food at work. I post it sometimes. Like last week, they had like red beet hummus and stuff, and like I just had to order it without the feta cheese, and it was vegan. And then what else? They made they just made a General Buddha bowl that was real good, just like sweet potatoes and greens. And,
I love bowls
and stuff. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
We're gonna roast up this. We got stuffing. I think my wife's like, we're gonna do. I think last year she asked her mom to do the potatoes and told her to make sure to get plant milk, and she went and bought like vanilla plant milk and like made the potatoes, so they were not
yeah,
like not good.
Yeah, there's vanilla in these potatoes.
We're like, we'll make the potato, you make the stuffing and just make it with veggie broth. You can't mess up veggie broth.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to make.
Yeah, so
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we're gonna make the juicy marbles. I'm gonna make the fillets and the ribs and the little meat pack. And I didn't get any loins this year because I figured the fillets. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take one of the fillets, and this I think is one of their recipes. I just changed it a little bit. I'm gonna take one of their fillets, and you fry it up. You break it up into little pieces. It fries kind of up like bacon.
Oh, nice.
And then you put that in with Brussels sprouts, right? And then you put a little feta cheese in like halfway through.
Oh.
And then when you take it out, you sprinkle in pomegranate arils.
Oh, that sounds good.
And that's your dish. So good.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to make that recipe. I'm gonna have to download this video just so I can get that recipe. I can write it down. That sounds amazing. I love especially that Violife feta cheese. I used to put it in my tofu scrambles all the time.
Oh, I haven't even thought of that. Well, thank you for the idea.
Yeah.
I got some of those just for this purpose too, just
nice.
for the things.
Yeah. Oh, such good stuff. I love Violife. They're my favorite vegan cheese company so far. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones out there though. Anybody want to come up? You got to be over 18. I'd rather not talk to people I've already spoken to. Let's scroll. I'm going to check out TikTok's comments. I haven't been looking at those.
No, they're out of pocket as usual.
They're out of
Captain.
pocket? Oh.
Yeah, these guys. There's a lot of vegans in here today, though.
There are.
I see a lot of people. Yeah, like I think I saw Sierra pop in earlier. Vegan Siren, Keith. I saw.
I do see
Bunny
Sierra.
Guardian.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, she's still in here.
Yeah, maybe I will restart. She does have a good point. Maybe I'll restart it, and I'll be back in like 1 minute. YouTube will still watch me. Are you okay? You can come back if you want. Are you okay to come back?
I might come back. I'm over here cleaning up and like working from home today, so I might be on and off the other, feeds. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. If I see your request, I'll pull you right up.
Awesome. You guys have a good day.
You too. Thank you for coming up here. I really do appreciate you speaking up. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later, Big Nick. Awesome. Awesome. I see you, Keith. I see you, Ben. Vegan Siren, of course. Hello. Anthony. Why do I think I know you? Your name looks familiar. Well, it's good to see you, I guess. Anyway, you guys, I'll restart, and I'll see you in like 2 minutes. I swear I'll be right back, okay? Thank you for being here. All right, I'll see you in a bit. All right, YouTube, hang out with me for a minute. Let's see. We'll close that. And then, oh, my chat went away. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. Hold on a second. Yas. All right, everyone should go to Anti-Animal Use. Definitely support them. Go check us out on Saturday. All right, pull you back up, YouTube. Bacon and steak for me are the hardest to give up. So there's actually vegan bacon and vegan steaks now that are amazing. You should check them out. Try Googling vegan steak or vegan bacon. You'll see a lot of brands and you can read reviews. Two vegan grocery stores in Portland. I can't imagine the virtue signaling mental illness going on there. What? You mean, okay, do you understand what virtue signaling is? Like, we're actually doing what we're saying. That's not virtue signaling. Let's see, let's actually get the definition. Virtue signaling, meaning the public expression of opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or social conscience or the moral correctness of one's position on a particular issue. Okay, so because we have two vegan grocery stores, we're making a public expression that we're better than you? Is that what you're saying? So just because the vegan grocery stores exist, it offends you so much because you think they're saying they're better than you? You saying that just says you know what you're doing is wrong. Why would you even think that we're saying that? You're saying that, oh, I'm doing something bad, you hate me for it. Well, what are you doing that's bad? You yourself apparently think it's bad. I'm not wearing anything made of animals. That's not true. Yeah, exactly. Vegans avoid animal products in clothing. Yeah, this is literally made by a vegan. Like, they made sure to source the products from places where the people are actually paid fairly, and the product is made well. It's not made under duress. And the sources are not from oppressive sources. This shirt was made by Fair Stickers. They're on Etsy. I'm sure they have a website too. Yeah, it sounds like, Steamy, you need to learn from this septum piercing theory. You've been here a lot. Let's see. Close this. Boop. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's okay, Jesse. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah. No, that's totally understandable why you stepped down. Awesome. Okay, let me pull back up to YouTube. There you are. Okay, hey guys. Exactly. The grocery stores arise because people don't want to use and exploit animals killed on, on our behalf. That is exactly right. My phone is the gosh, what was it? The Samsung S23 Ultra, I believe. But I don't plan on buying any more electronics, and if I do, I'm going to try to get them refurbished or used or something. Or if I really want to get something new, maybe I'll get that phone that is made, what was it called? The Fairphone. But right now, I have my old phone, because I was part of that system where the Fairphone, where every few years you upgrade your phone. So I have my old phone and I have my current phone, and they're both really good with the camera, so I don't see a need to buy any more electronics. But I do understand that you're trying to say you shouldn't buy products that support human slavery, right? Well, the issue is that you need a phone to survive in this world. My partner actually went, I think, a year and a half or a couple of years without a phone, and it was terrifying. He actually got in an accident. I didn't know what happened to him. I had to literally run down random roads until I found him because he was coming to pick me up. And, okay, hold on a second. Someone is demanding some attention. Yeah. I don't know how to remove that. How do you remove that? That's stupid. I should be able to delete. Well, it looks like he got kicked out anyway. That's terrible. I can't believe that people feel comfortable coming onto a public thing. That's weird. A public space and saying horrendous, racist things. That doesn't make sense. Oh, it's just that I can see it? Okay, cool. It didn't show any sign that it deleted it, so, yeah. Wow. That person has mental health issues. That's an insult to people with mental health issues. So it's like, I genuinely want you to get help if there's something wrong. You're an important individual. You can make a huge difference, and you're here doing this. It's terrible. Yeah, we're all animals, but does that mean that we can copy the wild animals? We can do whatever they're doing? Is that what you're saying? Because wild animals grape each other, it's now moral for humans to grape each other because it feels good, right? That doesn't make sense. Yes, you're an animal. I agree. But you are a moral agent. You understand what's right and wrong. Unless you're a child, in which case that makes more sense that you don't understand this. Yeah. Okay, so I understand that you're raising chickens, but do you think that's fair for the chickens? If I was to raise humans in the exact manner that you raise chickens, would you find it humane? Yeah, exactly. I use chickens. Thank you, Ian. You did correct him. Yeah. Vegans, in fact, understand why we respect disabled people or vulnerable populations, right? It's not because they're in our group. It's because we know that they're experiencing life. They care about what happens to them. That's why we care about everybody. And it's not even about really caring. It's just about, if I were them, I would want to be at minimum respected and not exploited. It doesn't matter what animals would do. You are a moral agent. You know what's right and wrong. You have a moral obligation to do what you think is right and avoid what you think is wrong. If you were the one being exploited, would you want to be used conventionally, used humanely, or not used at all and left to be free? You can feed your family. Look, honestly, if you were to truly go to nutritionfacts.org and look up the Vegan Daily Dozen, I guarantee you're going to save on your groceries. It's cheaper for sure. Hey, David, the 40-year-old vegan. If you're not following 40-year-old vegan, go check him out. Actually, TikTok. If you're ever curious, go ahead and head over to YouTube under Vegan Stoner Lady, and you'll see the live on there. Your comments are also on there. They will live on YouTube as long as YouTube exists. So just bear that in mind as you're talking on here. They can see what you're saying. Yeah, so again, I could be growing long pig bacon, which is human, right, in my backyard. Would that be considered moral because they taste good? I'm sort of here to save the animals. It's not a direct save the animals. It's more like I'm here trying to talk to you about living in alignment with your own principles so you don't make any more victims, so you don't demand more individuals be born into existence to be used by you, because that's just slavery. Why is it wrong, though? Why did we come together as a group and say, hey, we shouldn't farm humans, we'll make that illegal? Why is it disgusting? Eating animals is a big deal because it matters to the animals. It's a big deal to them. They lose everything. My kitty is yelling. Oops, I just dropped her brush. Slavery is bad. Yeah, she's going wild. I value life because it's sentient, so I don't care about animals. I don't value life because it's sentient. Then what do you care about? That sounds like a psychopath. Psychopaths don't care about sentience. And it's not about, again, you don't have to like animals to be vegan. It's about knowing that if you were the victim, you wouldn't want to be used. It's really that simple. Oh, Anik, this sounds like you had some success with a conversation. One woman was so affected by the 3-minute movie that she cried. So she was 100% felt with the animals. That's so sweet, Anik. I'm glad you were there for her. And her boyfriend was willing to explore veganism with her. That's so fantastic. That's amazing. When I first discovered veganism, I went plant-based, I should say, for a month. I didn't even understand what veganism really was. But I was fully plant-based for over a month. And then I continued, but then I started to introduce cheese into my diet because friends wanted to go places that had limited options for me, and I didn't want to be a trouble, because I was considered a picky eater in a sense, which is annoying. As I started to learn about the animals, though, I did feel uncomfortable with it, and people would kind of poke fun at that, so I would try to hide that part from others, which is sad because the animals are the real victims. So what if I'm getting picked on? They're losing everything. So it wasn't until I watched a documentary about dairy that I realized, oh my God, I'm still perpetuating this. So from there, I was like, I am not doing this ever again. And I told my partner, I am only ever cooking. Well, I'd only been cooking vegan since I had read that book. But I was like, I will not order anything with any animal product ever again. I will never put anyone in that situation ever again if I can avoid it. And that was like 2016. I've been vegan ever since, and so has my partner. Because he watched the documentaries with me and was like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of this. This is gross. He's not an overly emotional person either. Like, he doesn't really Like, I get worked up about things. He gets annoyed about stuff, but he doesn't react the way I do. So when he saw it, he wasn't crying. He wasn't showing any, like, extreme emotion of any kind. He just recognized that that wasn't right. He recognized that those could be dogs, those cows, those chickens, those pigs, those fish. They could be dogs just as easily. They could be him. And he wouldn't tolerate that. And that's all it took. It just took logic. Do I want to be oppressed? No? Then what gives me the right to oppress others when I can avoid doing so? Oh, that's great. The other activists were complimenting you because they heard. That's so good. I wish you'd gotten it recorded. We all could have joined in complimenting you and hearing it. It's okay, though. I get it. There's a lot of pressure to be on camera, so. Yeah, it's about principles. Hot tea is nice when it's cold. Yes, humans are omnivores. I don't disagree with you, but we have evidence that we can thrive using plants. So if we don't need to use animals, that means using them is abusive. It's harmful. They don't like it. They don't want it. All sentient beings want to live free of exploitation, right? If you were in a situation where you're being oppressed, wouldn't you want people to avoid demanding that you continue to be oppressed? You'd want them to abstain so that your oppressor stops. And that's just how it works. Aw, well, I'm glad that somebody asked you. Yeah, sometimes, so that's the same thing with non-vegans. Like, talking to vegans about doing activism, to me, feels like talking to non-vegans about veganism. Because it's like, I understand that you're already abstaining from demanding exploitation, but it's not enough. It is a huge and absolutely necessary first step. But the next step is speaking up. Because again, if you were the victim, would you want, your oppressors to just stop using you but keep you in the cage, or to start advocating to get you out of there, right? And that's personally how I feel. That's outside of veganism, though. That's vegan activism or animal rights activism. Because, the scenario I think about is if I was walking by someone and they just started kicking their dog, I'm not going to be silent. Even though I'm not going to participate in it and I'm going to think it's immoral, I'm also going to speak up and say, that's not okay. Stop. Stop right now. Don't baby step. Don't make excuses about tradition. Don't make excuses that you're a human supremacist. It's immoral to cause an animal, exploitation when it's unnecessary, when you can avoid doing so. I don't care if you're natural or organic, you're demanding oppression. So natural, organic oppression is what you're demanding. Okay. Yeah, exactly. We need to kick, or wait, what would you say? Taking a megaphone declaring, we need to quit kicking dogs. Why was that hard for my brain to say? Quit kicking the dogs. Yes, I often say that when people are like talking about, it's okay for me to remove the head of a cow. It's like, okay, you're kicking dogs for no reason, right? That's just like me kicking a dog for fun. You're kicking it or you're removing their head for sensory pleasure. Push veganism? Didn't you come into here? Oh, I'm forcing it on you. I'm like holding you by the head and I'm taking tofu and I'm like, ugh, eat this tofu. You will be vegan. These are your ethics now. That's what we do. That's me. Oh my gosh. Exactly, the vegan anthem. That was a perfect response. Yeah, we push the reality that animals aren't objects on others. No pushing on animals at all. No, she's not pushing anything on anybody. Exactly. Stop forcing me to be vegan. It's all natural. Plants are not sentient. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system, the organs required to produce sentience. So they don't have an experience or make preferences. That's what we care about. And if plants did have some kind of sentience, why are you so focused on that instead of the animals that are clearly sentient and care about what happens to them and actually move away from danger? Whereas plants don't have a preference. They don't move away from danger. They just kind of respond to whatever stimuli happens, and then that's it. Sentient beings have their own unique responses and preferences. I don't care what you think it is. It's what the victim thinks. The victim doesn't want to be used. Yeah, exactly. So you enjoy other things of nature like infanticide or graping. Those are all natural too and often found in nature. So you decide what is living and what isn't? No, I didn't say that. I'm saying science has discovered that plants are not sentient. Yes, they're alive, but they're not sentient. It's not advantageous for them to be sentient because if they could feel pain, what advantage would that give their species? They can't run away. Like, this is basic science. Hi, Sammy, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 21.
Oh, okay. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I am not. I am not vegan.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Have you ever...
But
Do you know what veganism means?
yeah, I know.
Go ahead and tell me what you think it means.
It's not eating any animal products.
That is an effect of what happens. Veganism is a rejection of exploiting others, so I don't want to support the exploitation of others. If I can avoid demanding your exploitation, I do so. I avoid demanding it. That's veganism. Does that sound like it aligns with your principles?
I don't know.
So let's say,
I gotta go.
Why did you come up here then? That's weird. Okay, BR, are you actually going to come up or is this another accident? Hey, are you over 18?
Okay, so I have a question.
Are you over 18?
Yes,
Why aren't you vegan yet?
because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I'm sorry that you struggle to understand basic logic. Maybe you need to graduate first. You haven't gotten to that grade yet, I guess. If you're over 18, I would love to talk to you about, morality, oppression, exploitation. When is oppression acceptable? Is it ever moral to oppress? Oppress means prolonged cruel treatment. Exploitation means to use someone unfairly for your benefit. When are those ever the right thing to do? If you can avoid demanding someone be oppressed or exploited, don't you agree that you should avoid demanding that then? If you were the victim, would you want to continue to be used or respected and not used? Used, not used. Used, not used. Yeah, BR, you just said you're too stupid to come up here, so why do you keep requesting? Why don't you hang out in the chat for a minute and learn so you're not stupid and you're actually educated? And then if you still feel like you have an argument, maybe we can talk. But I just don't trust that you understand anything right now. Yeah, that has nothing to do with veganism. Ben, my God, really? Like, why is this your entertainment? You're the type of person, when slavery was around, to go around and support it. To be like, you stupid idiot standing up against slavery, talking to the abolitionists. It's my right. We've been doing this forever. They're different, okay? And since morality is subjective, it's okay that I demand more slaves exist to support me. Oh, are you vegan then, Ben? Are you vegan? Hey, David, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you supporting the chat. That really means a lot. Thank you. Have a good night. Well, actually, it's daytime for you. What am I saying? Go do what you got to do. I know you don't rest, so that's all that's on my mind for you. I'm like, get some rest, my man. I know, it's a never-ending fight, though, right, for the animals. There's always something that needs to be done, and I get that feeling of like, oh, but I can do something else. I don't need to go to sleep yet. So I'm saying that there's a difference between being in my car and like someone stepping in front of me versus me running down people with my car, right? So what you're doing when you demand animal exploitation, you're deliberately running over someone. Whereas when you're harvesting crops, animals are smart. I don't know why people think animals are just sitting in the crop fields like a carrot, not running away. They feel vibrations, they hear sounds, they run. We have studies that show that they don't just hang out, they leave. They go to the outskirts of the field, right? The issue is more like they get predated upon. And then the argument comes down to, well, if there wasn't a farm there, right, if they weren't plowing the fields, there would probably be a forest or some other natural habitat, right? How much predation would have happened in that area if there wasn't a farm? Probably a lot, right? Because there'd be an ecosystem. So it's not about these crop farms causing harm. It's about a system that needs to be improved. And we can. You can improve crop systems. You can't improve how you exploit an animal. It will always be exploitation. It will always be enslavement. It will always be violating someone's autonomy. That's the difference. Yes, we should speak up about our crops and how they're treated, but right now vegans make up 1 to maybe 3% of our population. Imagine if we were 10%. I almost guarantee there would be veganic vegetables available because there would be farmers implementing these principles into their work. It's just that right now their livelihoods are tied to corporations that dictate the way they have to do things. There's a lot of farmers that don't like the situation they're in and they're actually held captive in them. There are systems in place to help them, but they have to look for them. I think you're an indoctrinated tool of Satan. I think that you just admitted you're scared of the dark. I think you just admitted that you're afraid that some oogie boogie man is about to get you. So I think you're the indoctrinated tool. Okay, if it's so privileged, carefree, then why are these diets more often found in poorer nations? Beans and rice, right? Those are like some of the cheapest things you can eat. Local fruits and vegetables, frozen fruits and vegetables, canned fruits and vegetables. These are the cheapest foods that you can find. If you go to nutritionfacts.org, they have what's called the Dailey Dozen, the vegan Dailey Dozen if you want to just Google it. And it shows you how to get everything you need in a day on a whole food, plant-based diet. Not supporting any kind of corporation, just whatever plant farmer you want to support. Right? That simple. Carefree, you're not listening. You're just focused on crop deaths. Veganism is not against unaliving. Veganism is not against harm. Veganism is against exploitation. I encourage you to go do some research. What does exploitation mean? Hey, Copperfish, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
Your body is designed to consume meat.
Do you have evidence of this?
Do you know why your teeth are sharp? Do you know why your eyes...
So you're just going to keep making claims? You're not going to back anything up? You're just going to make a big old long list of claims? You just said I'm designed and have to consume animal flesh. Where's the study that says that? You're muted. I muted you because you're about to go on this big long tirade and I don't want to listen to it. Okay, well, if you can't find the mute button, we could just move on. It's up to you. It's in the middle. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you're vegan now. I'm glad you learned. Yes, I'm against using someone just because I want to lick their insides carefree. It's that simple. We're not created, by the way. We are evolved, right? Yes, our ancestors used animals at some point. That's true. But we have evidence that today, modern times, if you come back to the present with me, we can thrive without using animals. Wow. Oh, I thought I hit accept. The real Ainsley, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't have any strong motivations that I should be
Okay.
a vegan.
Do you know what veganism means?
I understand what it means to me, but if you want to tell me what it means
Yeah.
to you.
So veganism is just a stance against the exploitation of sentient beings, meaning if you're being oppressed and exploited and someone's selling the benefits of that off, I'm not going to give that oppressor my money because I don't want to support them oppressing you because I know you're sentient and care what happens to you. And if I was you, I wouldn't want my oppressor supported. Does that sound like it aligns with your principles?
That sounds like a definition that I've similar to other vegans that I've spoken about.
Okay.
Exploitation
Does that
is
sound like it
generally
aligns with your principles though?
Yeah, generally speaking, sure.
Okay. So is there anything that you think we need from animals?
Need is going to be like an odd word there. Like, I mean...
Well,
yeah,
is there
we need
anything you
maybe-
think that we can't get from other sources that we have to take from animals?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think that we should respect animals?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think that you can respect someone while using them without their consent?
Probably.
How do you do that? How do you use someone morally, in respecting them without their consent?
Well, I respect, say, for instance, the people that produce the technology that I'm using right now. But it could be the case.
Yeah, you're not
that
exploiting them, right? You're giving them money for a technology. So why is it okay to exploit
I would
animals?
I would argue that all technology is going to be produced through some form of exploitation.
How often do you buy technology? How many times a day?
Fairly regularly.
How many times a day?
I mean,
how many times a day?
How many times a day do I purchase technology? I don't know, whenever I need it.
How many times do you purchase animal products or use animals in a day?
Well, I'm a chef, so I purchase animal products every day.
Okay, so you can make a big difference by going vegan.
I don't think I can make a big difference.
You could. One
myself,
person going
but-
vegan can actually prevent 100 to 300 individuals from being forced into that system. That's huge. If someone had gone to the dog meat market and rescued even just 2 dogs, that person is hailed as a hero. You could prevent 100 to 300 animals, each one caring what happens to them, just like those 2 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this isn't like.
Well,
providing
first,
anything
before
like-
we move on, I just want to make sure you understand that you do make a big difference. Do you understand that?
Well, no, I
Okay,
don't.
I
think
want to
that-
hammer this home. Do you think that producers care what you buy?
I think let me
Do
take that back. I would
producers
probably-
care what you buy?
Sure.
Sure or yes?
Nominally.
They absolutely care what you buy, right? They put money into how to catch your eye attention with colors. They absolutely want you to buy their products. They care. They watch. In fact, most stores give you a little card, right, to give you some kind of discount so that you're like a club member kind of thing, right? That's so they can keep track of your purchases so that they can advertise specifically and more accurately to you. So with that in mind, do you think they care what you purchase?
Yeah, nominally.
They care a lot about what you purchase. So if you were to reduce, if you were to move your demand to plant-based products, that's why I say you actually can prevent 100 to 300 animals from being forced in that system, because the producers don't want to lose money.
I'm just gonna prima facie accept what you're saying is true. It doesn't like move my motivation.
So you don't understand supply and demand?
Again, I'm gonna prima facie.
Do you understand supply and demand? If you don't understand, we'll move on. It doesn't sound like you might not be equipped for this conversation.
Please don't.
You might not be equipped for this conversation. If you're going to complain about how I'm talking to you, this is already a deflection from the topic. You obviously can't handle it. You're already starting to crash out. That's too bad. For the animal's sake, that's too bad. You cannot think past your own pleasure. You're like, this feels so good. I just have to defend that animals lose their life for me. Just answer my questions. That's all I want you to do. Hey, hello? Angel, are you over 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Right
23.
on. Right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I love meat. I am on a carnivore diet.
Okay. Do you know what veganism means? Oops, I'm sorry. I hit your mute button. I was trying to mute myself. I'm sorry. It's in the middle. Go ahead.
That's okay. You're good. Yeah, I mean, you were mentioning it's the unfair treatment of animals, using them without, I guess, their permission, or in a way that they shouldn't be, or advocating for more rights for animals, I'm assuming, and just overall better treatment of them.
You're on the right path. It's about being against their exploitation, right? It'd be similar, another analogous situation where another sentient being lost their freedom to another group would be like human slavery, right? So it's not about that I want human slaves to be treated right. It's that I don't think they should be enslaved at all. I think that it's objectification to enslave a human. It's the same way for animals.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe that plants have feelings, or they're at least somewhat sentient, even if they can't really process like we do?
No,
they
but
can feel?
let's steel man you. Let's say they are sentient, okay? Let's say they feel everything that's happening to them. Do you think then that we should reduce the harm that we're causing to them?
Realistically, there's no way to do it if we're consuming them.
Oh, I don't know why you're bringing it up then.
Well, here's why I'm bringing it up, because plants actually have biodefense mechanisms.
I know, but why does that matter? But why does that matter? Like if the plants are sentient, right? Why do I care about the plants?
So they don't actually think.
You're right, they don't. That's sentience.
Chemicals.
That is
right.
Okay, so Angel, I want to stop you ahead of time. Yes, they have defense mechanisms, but those are just responses to stimuli, right? Those aren't signs of sentience. If a plant was sentient, that means that we need to care about their welfare now. If you're trying to call me a hypocrite, right? Because I'm telling you to eat plants, right? So I'm telling you that even in your scenario, to reduce the harm that we would cause to plants, you should eat plants directly, because animals that we're using eat more plants than a person. So we're growing more sentient plants to then torture and feed into a sentient animal who then we're going to take the life of and eat them. Do you see how you're taking this harm argument and saying you shouldn't harm plants, but I'm telling you, well, if that's the case, you're doing the most harm you can by using animals.
What I'm trying to advocate for is no matter what we consume, we're doing some form of harm.
Yes, but
right? Whether it's,
do you think that if we're causing harm, we should do more harm or less harm? Should we do more harm or less harm?
I think we should stay with what we're doing, if I'm being completely honest.
Slavery. We had slavery for a long time. Do you not think that should have been stopped?
100%, but
Why?
I don't equate.
Why?
I don't
Why?
equate
Why?
beef
Why?
with poultry.
Why? Can you answer
It's
me?
not the same
Why?
as slavery.
If you can't follow, we'll move on. What is wrong with human
Right.
slavery?
I,
What is wrong with human slavery?
there's a lot wrong with it.
All right, name it.
Specifically, that you were depriving a specific person or people or race of their human
Why is that
God-given
wrong?
rights.
What is that? What are those?
Because you were essentially depriving them of their own free will.
What's that?
Free will is the ability to do what you want,
To make
when you
preferences,
want,
right?
where you want,
Make preferences.
right? And still,
Make
obviously,
preferences. Animals are sentient. They make preferences. They want to be safe. They don't want to feel harm. They want to continue having experiences just like you. So what morally justifies the difference in treatment?
Well, I think we should have more humane ways of treating.
What morally
but
justifies
I
the
don't
difference
equate
in
it to
treatment?
slavery.
What morally justifies the difference in treatment?
For having
Why is it
protein from
okay?
animals over plants.
Why is it okay? I want you to listen. Are you listening? Why is it okay?
Listening.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm asking
Why?
to clarify.
Okay. Well, I need you to stop talking so you can hear me respond, okay? Why is it okay to farm animals, but not okay to farm humans? What is it that makes the difference in treatment acceptable?
Well, why is it okay to farm animals?
You can't
and not
answer. You
humans?
can't answer my question.
I mean,
Can you answer my
that's-
question,
it's-
please?
It's
I took the time to say it slowly for you. What is the
Right.
morally relevant difference between
Right.
animals and humans that justifies farming one but not the other?
I mean, you're trying to make the claim that farming humans is
Yeah,
obviously
you are
it's
not
the
following,
same
are
as
you?
farming.
I'm asking you to tell me the difference. Let's say I'm an alien. I've never been to this planet before. Can you explain to me why you farm animals but not humans? Why is that morally acceptable to do to animals but not humans? Please explain to my alien brain.
Okay. We have the natural food chain, right? So we have
What's the food
predators,
chain?
and
What's the food chain?
food
I'm
chain
an alien.
is basic. Oh, okay. So the food chain is basically it sort of serves as a hierarchy, right? It goes from the top to the bottom.
So wait,
The biggest and
those
baddest
at the top of
predators
the food chain
consume
are the most
smallest predators
powerful.
and
Okay, you don't even know what the food chain is, apparently. An alien has to explain it to you. So the food chain is actually how we talk to children about food webs. A food chain is a zoom in on these food webs, and all that's showing you is the transfer of energy. You got the primary consumer, the secondary consumer, and so on. Primary consumer being the grass. Takes in energy from the sun, soaks up nutrients from the soil and water, right? Out of that 100% of energy that it takes to make that grass, the animal, the herbivore, comes and eats that grass, the secondary consumer. They only get 10% of the energy that came into that grass. Only 10% goes into their body. So when you're farming animals, right, you have to put all this nutrient into the grass or whatever food they're eating, right, to get something out of their body. It takes like 10 times the resources to get one out of the animal. You're only getting 10% of that energy that the animal absorbed because they're moving around, they exist, they burn energy off. So already from that pyramid, you're still making a vegan claim because you're showing that animals are inefficient to use. We should be eating plants directly. It would cut down our resource use greatly. And there's studies that actually back this up.
I can give you a study that does not back that up.
So there's a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. They go over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries. We dedicate 83% of our agricultural land to raising animals for their space to live and their food. If we stopped farming animals, if we stopped animal agriculture, we can reduce our agricultural land use by 75%. That's America and Brazil combined, all that landmass, left to rewild or whatever we want to do with it. We don't have to use it for animal ag. And at the same time, feed 10 billion humans. We're only like 8.5 billion right now. So we could feed our population and then some if we stopped farming animals. That's all your pyramid really points out. We're starving ourselves so that people in the West can lick the insides of sentient beings.
Well, the FAO, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, specifically states that global veganism cannot be uniformly
I don't care what they
adopted
say.
because different regions rely on livestock.
You're not in those areas. So using other people in situations that are not... Would you shut your hole? You are not in that situation. You sound like you're in a first world nation. You're sitting here on TikTok. You have options. You can go to the store and choose plants. You don't need to use animals. Yes, there are people in situations where they have to overcome obstacles to survive. Yeah, that doesn't morally justify it. It just makes it understandable, right? And also points out to an injustice to those people. To not have access to choice, right? They don't have access to all the fruits and vegetables that could bring them health. When science is telling us this is how we can live longer, that's an injustice to deny people access to that. And then you turn around and you tokenize them for your poor decisions. Terrible. You should really reconsider when you tokenize other people. It's gross.
Statistically, the vegan diet actually.
So you're going to continue. You're going to continue to tokenize others. Well, then we're done here. I don't want to talk to a bigot. Like, that's ridiculous, guy. Those people over there don't have options, so I'm going to eat like I'm them, even though I have options. I'm going to continue to demand someone be enslaved because somebody else over there is doing something. It's very childish. My friend Jimmy gets to eat candy for dinner. Why can't I? Like, what a pathetic freaking excuse. Hey, Evan, are you over 18?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
I just have a quick question. How come every single time that guy was going to pull up a study or...
I mean, are you going to come up here and talk to me about veganism, or are you just going to cry because your boyfriend got spanked? Yeah, it sounds like you're probably just going to cry. I think you're yapping to yourself there. You were muted. We couldn't hear anything you said. Hey, April.
Hi.
Are you over 18?
Yes.
It sounded reserved, but I'll let you stay up. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't see how that sounded reserved. I answered your question.
Do you want to have a conversation, or you just want to
birth?
bitch? God damn. What is wrong with people? Like, I have bigger claws than you because this is my live. Like, you can go cry in the chat. I don't care. But you're going to come up here already offended? Like, I'm not going to talk to you. Yeah. You guys can just, enjoy the show. Yep. Yeah, I muted you because you sounded like you were just going to cry about your boyfriend being spanked up here. And yeah, your boyfriend deserved to be spanked. So I spanked your boyfriend in front of you. So you guys say it's wrong. Someone else says it's right. Who's correct if everything is subjective? Well, I don't know. Maybe you should ask the victim. You ever thought about that, Carefree? What do the animals prefer? Do you think they prefer being used without their consent or best interest being taken into consideration? Or do you think they want to be left the fuck alone? Like, people are delusional if they think that animals want you to use them. That's literally what grapists think. Grapists think that if their victim doesn't fight them back hard enough, that their victim wanted it. And that's what you're literally saying right now. My victims don't fight me enough. They don't tell me. Therefore, they must like what I do to them for my pleasure. That's gross. Why did slavery end? Because people were against it. People were like, those are other sentient beings. Stop doing that. And other people thought it was their God-given right. They literally quoted the Bible. They literally said that they were the superior being, right? They said that people that were enslaved were better off. They even bred slaves. We literally treated humans like we do the animals. And you know what's crazy is when we say we treated someone like an animal, what is that saying? We're saying that animals can't even be victims and that the bare minimum that we do to animals is abuse, that we should be doing that. To treat someone like an animal, treat someone abusively. Why is the bare minimum or the moral baseline abuse? That's insane. Just because you don't understand what they want. I think animals eat animals, and from your worldview, you don't think you're better than an animal. Yeah, animals are not moral agents like you and I. We know what's right and wrong. It's like an adult versus a child, right? Children do things that are immoral and they don't understand it. But an adult who is a moral agent does know what's right and wrong. They have an obligation to not take advantage of a child who's vulnerable just because the child doesn't understand something. Does that make it more clear why it's immoral for you as a moral agent and an animal who is similar to a child as a moral patient, that you have a moral obligation to not exploit them? It's that simple. If you were the victim, would you want to be used without your consent considered? A moral agent is someone who can weigh out what's right and wrong and understand the repercussions, that there's repercussions to actions. If you want respect, if you want to be not exploited, then you have a moral obligation to not do that to others. Because when you do it to others, you're saying, I'm fair game. You want to use me for your purposes without my consent. I mean, I'm fair game because I do it to others. If animals don't have rights, neither do you. Because when we use animals, we're saying it's okay to discriminate based off arbitrary traits. There is no morally relevant difference between us. Their intelligence, we have unintelligent humans. The way they look, we have humans that don't look like humans. We have humans that can't even walk upright, covered in hair, can't speak, don't understand morality, can't get a job and give back to society. We still find it wrong to exploit them. Are there any exceptions, host? No. It's always immoral to take someone's life who wanted to live. It's always immoral to exploit. It's understandable in survival situations or maybe self-defense, but it shouldn't be your first go-to because you want to do it, right? It should be a last resort. Noah, you exploit more plants than I do by using animals. Maybe you weren't here for that lesson. The Dawn. Hey, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I eat meat.
All right. What does veganism mean?
Not using any animal product.
It is something we do, but veganism is actually rejecting the exploitation of other sentient beings. So if I can avoid demanding someone's exploitation, I do so. I avoid demanding it.
Well, so real quick, I just kind of was scrolling by and I heard your.
Well,
I wanted
before
to
you
respond
ask, does that sound like that aligns with your principles, what I just described? And then I'll answer your question.
I would say I'm against the unnecessary exploitation, but I don't think it's wrong.
If I could just further on it, if we could live the life we're living right now without exploiting animals, that would be preferable, right?
I would say if it's unnecessary, I would disagree with
that's what I'm saying. If you could get all your benefits, all the food, all the taste pleasure, all the benefits without using the animals, they don't have to be exploited, but you're still getting everything you have right now, wouldn't that be preferable?
Sure.
Okay, let's move on from there. What was your question?
Yeah, I think I'm not going to get this exact wording correct, but you were talking about like it's never ever okay to take any living thing's life.
Well, again, remember what I said. What veganism is. It's not against unaliving or harm. It's against exploitation specifically.
Right, but
Okay.
So I'm just curious, like where that extends to. So like if a mosquito is, coming to land on you, or coming to land on me, and
So
I switch
describe to me what exploitation means, and then I can show you how that relates to the mosquito.
Well, exploiting something is taking advantage of it and using it for your own purposes.
Right. So if a mosquito came into my home, right, and was trying to bite me, how am I exploiting that mosquito?
Well, I guess you're not, but let's say you're out in the mosquito's home. You're out, hiking in the woods, and mosquito is about to land on you.
Yeah.
And you squish it, right?
Mhm.
So is that okay?
Yeah, it's self-defense.
Okay, but like if a human came up to you and they were just gonna pinch you.
Yeah. So the difference is, I can explain it. So a mosquito is much smaller, and I'm huge, right? My reaction would probably be the same if a human came up to pinch me, which is, hey, don't do that. Unfortunately, a mosquito is a little more delicate, so if I do brush them or hit them, personally as a vegan, I don't want to take their life, right? My preference is to let them be, but leave me alone. I will defend myself though. So if they come to bite me, I'm going to try to deter them, and it may result in taking their life. If a human came at me and was pinching me and wouldn't stop, right? I would do everything I could to get them to stop before taking their life. It's the same thing, it's just that they're bigger, and my reaction of swiping them isn't going to wipe their delicate body out.
Right, but we care less about the action, more about the impact, right?
No,
In one instance,
no, that's not about veganism. This is all self-defense. So veganism is about not demanding someone's exploitation, right? I'm not demanding that a human come and pinch me, and I'm not demanding a mosquito come at me so I can crush them. That would be exploitation.
But there is a big difference. Like, you're not going to care.
Okay, let me put it this way. I'm driving down the road and somebody steps in front of me, right? Isn't that immensely different than if I was to be purposely driving people down, or animals or whatever? Isn't that different?
Yeah, because there's no intent.
Right, so I'm telling you it's the same thing with the mosquito. My intent isn't to take their life. It's just that it might happen. Just like driving down the car, if someone was to step in front of me, right? I'm not looking to drive people down if someone accidentally steps in front of me. Those are two different things. Raising animals, farming them, is direct exploitation. That's running someone down. That is demanding that someone be born into existence so you can take their life and benefit from it.
Okay, but what if my intent is to take the mosquito's life, right?
That's exploitation. That is exploitation.
Okay, so you would disagree with that.
If you go out looking for mosquitoes, not in self-defense, and you go out there just to squish them because you enjoy crushing them, that is exploitation.
Well, no, let's say I walk out my front door and I see a mosquito sitting on the railing.
Really? I really don't want to talk about mosquitoes anymore. Are you really this dense? You really think that you can't be vegan because a mosquito might bite you and you might have to kill it to get it off of you? Really? This is your excuse for you can't move your hand in a grocery store because a mosquito might bite you? Is that what I'm hearing? Why aren't you vegan? Why aren't you vegan? Stop pivoting. Why aren't you vegan? Please. Why is it okay to demand that animals be born into existence for you? I'm not doing that. You are. Why are you doing that? You're muted. I can't hear anything.
Can I make my point? You're not really.
No, I don't want to hear about mosquitoes anymore. I want to know why you're not vegan, and if you can't focus, we'll just move on.
Okay, my point is though.
I don't want to know your point. I want to know why you're not vegan. I'll give you one more try, and if you can't answer, we'll move on. You're clearly not equipped. Or you're a coward. It's one of the two. So which is it? Do you want to have a conversation, or are you just going to be really focused on mosquitoes and trying to do the hypocrisy fallacy? Because that's what you're the hill you're trying to die on. You're not actually arguing veganism. You're arguing self-defense, and you keep pushing self-defense. So why aren't you vegan? What is stopping you from demanding animals be born into existence, or stopping that, demanding the animals be born into existence?
Because I think there's a difference between taking the life of a human and taking the life of an animal.
Why does your grocery store sell human flesh?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, then why are you choosing between humans and animals?
Because there's a difference between taking the life of a human and taking the life of
Okay,
an animal.
again, why is your grocery store selling human flesh?
Are you like not hearing what I'm saying?
Oh, you're the one that's not hearing what you're saying. Because I'm not
There is
telling
a
you to
difference.
choose between humans and animals. I'm telling you to choose between animals and plants.
Right, and I'm
Right.
saying
So
I
what
don't
are,
make-
what are humans? What do humans have to do with this?
because I don't see how taking an animal's life.
Oh my God, you're so thick. Get out of here. Oh my God, that was painful. Keep saying it. I choose humans over animals. Okay, I'm not telling you to choose, a human over animal. That's not all what I'm saying. I'm not saying become a cannibal. I'm saying choose the plants over the animals. You'll be fine. You'll get everything you need. I promise. I promise. And if you're that worried, I have resources. Look, nutritionfacts.org. They have what's called the Dailey Dozen, right? Easy, simple checklist from Whole Foods that you can get everything in a day. Whole food, plant-based. And it's really simple. And it'll actually be cheaper than your current diet. And you might see health improvements because you might open up what you're eating, and most plant foods are pretty healthy for you. I wouldn't say they're all healthy. Obviously, there's vegan junk food. But if you eat a whole food, plant-based diet, I'm sure you'll get benefits from it. Again, Noah, you're exploiting more plants than me, but good try. I know you keep pushing that. You guys are so funny, too. You get stuck, you get fixated on these fallacies, and you're just like, no, I won. It's like, it's a fallacy, honey. You clearly have never debated. It's okay, baby. Just go look it up. Go look up common fallacies. You'll see how many you're making. I get it. You're learning. And you know what? It's impressive that you guys are up here. And I'm teasing you, but, as I say it does take a lot to come up here. And I commend those that are strong enough to come up here. Amanda, it says we're friends. Are you vegan? I don't remember talking to you. I'm so sorry. Hey, are you vegan?
Hello. I am, yeah.
Hey!
You've spoken to me before.
I'm sorry.
We're getting, like,
I keep forgetting who I talk to sometimes, so I'm really sorry. TikTok, it's because a lot of people change their accounts, so I almost just don't ever really put into memory who everyone is, so I'm so sorry. I'm sure I'll go to do we have private messages at all? Because if I go back to that, I'll definitely remember who you are. Okay, I'm sorry that I don't remember who you are based off your picture. How are you doing?
no worries. I'm just getting loads of stick tonight, so I thought you might want to talk to a vegan person.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah. Well, and I might end it here. I see April Rain, but I'm pretty sure I already spoke to that person. Oh, Fake Compassion. Yeah, they're not vegan. Okay. So yeah, I'll just have you up here for a couple minutes if you want to talk.
Yeah, sure. I don't get why people don't understand about veganism and about exploitation of animals.
Yeah.
I don't. Pigs, for instance. If anyone who wants to listen to this, they are more intelligent than a 3-year-old toddler. So should we put 3-year-old toddlers in slaughterhouses and eat them in our dinners?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I mean, babies, they can't contribute to society. They don't understand morality. They don't even really look like us, right? They're like this small larva-looking thing with kind of appendages. I mean, that's perfect bacon. They're like mostly bacon right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just it amazes me that people will just not look at the facts and not actually explore. I mean, I was vegetarian. I went vegetarian overnight for a year, and I did a lot of research into veganism, and I went vegan 8 years ago, and it was just like it changed my life.
That's
amazing. Really, really has.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would never go back.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, sorry, I said I'd never go back.
Same. Yeah, I always say, I wish I'd known sooner. I didn't have anyone talk to me. I didn't go on TikTok and I didn't talk to someone on the street. But I really wish someone had. Because I feel like I would have heard them and actually done the research sooner than, waiting till I wanted to be skinny and then happened to find some book about, being plant-based and not really gripping the morality until I eventually opened that door myself. So, yeah, I understand why people are like this, but man, the reason why I'm here is because I wish someone had been there to wake me up sooner.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I didn't go vegan. I didn't go vegetarian because I didn't like the taste of animals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yep, same.
But I loved animals so much that I just could not comprehend putting them through that to get a hamburger or a steak or anything like that.
Exactly.
And it was just awful. I stopped eating lamb originally, and then I pulled up next to a lorry load of pigs and just burst into tears. And I was like, I'm never eating pork again. And then I thought, well, if I'm never eating pork, why would I ever eat any animal again? So I stopped there and then that day. And then, like I say, it did take a year of doing lots of research into veganism and the exploitation of the dairy industry and stuff like that. But then as soon as I'd done that, I was just like, that's it. It's all gone. And I won't even I use all my household cleaning stuff is all plant-based, and all my toiletries all plant-based. No, I wouldn't even use chemicals now.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, when I first became vegan, I did only think, sadly, not just diet, but I did have my limitations. Like, I was thinking clothing, diet, and entertainment. And I didn't even think about testing on animals. Even though I was against it, I just wasn't aware that so many products had it. And that was a learning process of, doing research and looking that up. But I hope that's not the reason why people are like scared of veganism, because to me it was just, I was learning something new every day, and I still do. And to me that doesn't bother me. It just makes me more sad that our systems are so oppressive, and it makes me want to fight even harder. It's like, oh, well, I mean, we can change. We have the alternatives. It's just about people knowing that these exist and that we don't have to do it. So
yeah, it's the same as with alcohol. Like, if I want a glass of wine, if I go into a restaurant or a pub or something like that and I want a glass of wine, I have to check that it's vegan before, and people will look at me like they're like, wine? All wine's vegan, it's made of grapes. And I'm like, you wouldn't believe what they put in it or what they strain it through.
Exactly. Ugh. Yeah, as a vegan, I want to know what you're putting in my drink, right? Like, it's all hidden behind, we put these little bits of random animal into your drink. Like, can you not? Like, you can make that drink without using those bits. You know that, right?
I know, and people were like literally look at me. Like, I was standing in a
I can't hear you. Hold on, I'm sorry. I just unplugged my headphones. I'm sorry, say it again.
I know, I was just going to say it. And I will stand there for ages in a supermarket looking at the bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And if I can't see that it says vegan on it, I will be Googling it in the shop. And people are like looking at me like, what is she doing? And I'm like, I'm not drinking it unless it's vegan.
Yeah.
It's not going in my mouth.
Right. And it's also just like the idea of like, I don't want to demand someone's exploitation in my drink. Like, that, it bothers me that much. I'm willing to stand in the GD store Googling my wine. Like, I genuinely don't want to be used, or, I don't want to be used. So I'm doing this for the victims so that they, know I'm avoiding using them. I mean, they don't need to know, but for me, I feel I can sleep at night knowing that I get my pleasure without demanding someone be exploited. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, I'll let you go now, and it was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you for giving me the vegan break. I definitely needed it. Thank you.
Oh, bless you. No worries. Take care.
All right. I'll see you later, Amanda. Bye. Awesome. If you're not following Amanda, go check her out. I need to go see what kind of content she does. But if she's willing to go up on lives, I mean, I bet she does some great activism. Please go follow her. Also following any of the vegans that were up here. Lori is a fantastic vegan and outreacher. She's on a lot of other vegans' lives. She's been on Universe's live a lot. And she's just a plethora of information. And then who else do we have up here? We had Big Nick Energy, which he has a sanctuary where he takes care of animals. He's got a bunch of bachelor chickens and some pigs. I can't remember who else he has, who are their residents he's caring for, but big heart. And he always comes up here to share his knowledge about those animals, because a lot of people are clueless about them, have no idea, their preferences and their needs. They just know that this is where you get animal products from. And as long as you give them some shelter and food, that's good enough. You miss the fact that they're each individuals with personalities and preferences. I'll read a couple more comments and then I think I'll just call it because it is noon over here and that's usually about the time that I hop off. Let's see. Yeah, don't fist cows. Be vegan. Exactly, Jason Gutt. Straight to the point. If everything is subjective, your moral isn't moral to others. Yes, Jeffrey Dahmer felt the same way. His morals were subjective too. So why did we impede on his freedom to make a little snack out of a fellow human? Right? His morality said it was fine. Yeah, Carefree. Why are your morals better than Jeffrey Dahmer's? A book. Yeah, you know, I mean, if it is if you do believe in the Christian God, there's actually someone, I don't know if they're here anymore, but there's Vegan Heretic. He's on TikTok and YouTube, okay? Go check him out. He actually talks about how the Bible and veganism interlink, right? There's also a documentary called Christspiracy, and it also talks about, they look at the sea scrolls and interpret genuinely what Jesus's life probably was. And it sounds more that he was like an animal rights advocate than he was for using animals. And they actually look at the specific words that are translated that people have now in the King James Version or whatever, says like fish or domination. They actually have the actual words and they talk about the actual translation. So if I was religious, I would want to know if I'm being lied to or manipulated. And I would go do that research. Go check out Christspiracy. It's not a debunk film for religion. It's just a great breakdown. And then check out Vegan Heretic. He's a great vegan advocate on YouTube and TikTok. He actually even has a book. It's called Vegan versus the Verses. He sent this to you. I still haven't gotten to crack it open, though. I have it right here, so I do. But I just haven't had a moment. I've been busy the last couple of weeks. But he was so sweet to send me that. So you should talk to him. He's gone very in depth on the topic. So I myself am not religious, but I'm always up for learning. I'm going to read a couple more comments and then I'll probably call it. Destiny, I don't know if I want to do that right now. I'm kind of at the end of my live, but please go check out Universe. Universe will be live, I'm sure, sometime today. Or some other vegans. Just look up vegans in the lives and you'll find other vegans and you can ask them questions. I guarantee I would be answering just like they do. They have the same responses as me. They might have slightly different responses because there's a lot of information out there, but we all know the same stuff. It's immoral to use somebody without their consent. Plant exploration is real. Yeah, they explore plants. That's true. Did you mean exploitation? I mean, yeah, if you're worried about plant exploitation, stop using animals. We feed more plants to the animals. So if we eat plants directly, we'll reduce greatly how many sentient plants are bred into existence. It's that simple. Don't speak out of ignorance, lady. Okay, Carefree, what is the Garden of Eden? Is it the most perfect creation that God made? It was. Guess what? There was no harm. Nobody used each other in the Garden of Eden. The fruits and the vegetables were your food. It wasn't until sin entered the world that then you were allowed by your Lord to cope with the harsh environment by using animals in extreme cases. But even throughout that, even though your God gives you permission after the fall of man, right? He even says to not do it unless you have to. Multiple times. It's not about your pleasure. It's about survival, and that is it. And why wouldn't you think, if your God said, Garden of Eden is perfection, why wouldn't anything other than that be a test? Wouldn't your God want you, in the face of pleasure, to turn away and stick to his plan, his perfection? Or would God want you to indulge in sin and harm and whatever, right? You got to ask yourself, if you truly are following this book for your morality, you need to ask questions and not just follow whatever someone told you, right? This book, you should understand where this book came from, the history of it, the actual words from it, not just the translations, right? It's like playing telephone and saying, well, the ending result of telephone is the hard book, when really, the original words have been manipulated. You know, someone wanted control over you. I mean, it's whatever. If you, I just don't care about arguing about religion is my point. You can be whatever religion you are and vegan. You know, you can worship any deity and not demand someone be exploited. Most religions, I'd say like 99% of them, don't require that you use animals. So, you know, you don't have to. It's your choice at that point. And then you need to ask, what about the animal's choice? What do the animals prefer? Do they prefer to be used, or do they want to be left the F alone? Yes, alcohol is, it's not the yeast that's the issue. For some wines, they add like, I think it's the egg white. They use that somehow in the wine to give it, it's like when you do that swirl and you see the little legs coming down, that's like egg whites or something. I don't really drink wine anymore, so I don't remember what other products they put into wine. I just smoke my garden. So I like smoked greens. Broccoli is my favorite. Yeah, exactly. What if it was my religion to enslave all non-vegans? Would it be moral for me to act on that because it's my religion? No. You can do what you want until it infringes on someone else's rights. Exactly, vegan anthem. Exactly. All right, I'm going to look over at TikTok real quick. Why is exploiting plants acceptable but animals is wrong? Both are wrong. No excuses or sentient BS. Plants are not sentient, by the way, John Den. Why is exploiting plants acceptable? Blah, blah, blah. You just spammed it? What a sad hill to die on. You are using more plants. Do you not understand that animals eat more plants than you? Oh, yeah, that is funny. John Doe versus John Den. Plants can't tell they're being exploited. They don't feel pain. And it is necessary. I agree, vegan siren. Exactly. We have to eat something. And eating plants directly, actually, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it actually does reduce plant harm because we don't grow as many. Why is exploiting plants acceptable? Wow, John Den, you're still going to keep going on that? Yes, plants are living. They are not sentient. Google it if you're so worried. There's also an article, a scientific article that's called Debunking a Myth, Plant Consciousness. Goes over 50 years of studies that looked into plant sentience. Those studies that say, like they sang to the plants or talked really nicely to them, whatever, those are not repeatable reliably. They have not been reliably repeated. Every time, people get different responses. It wasn't controlled. This guy did not have a very well thought out. You can read the whole experiment. So, you know, that's what I like about that big article is they actually break down multiple studies that looked into this and they're not repeatable. The ones that explain plants' reactions to things as just reactions to stimuli are repeatable. You are able to make a hypothesis and repeat what the other people had found. So plants are not sentient. They're just responding to stimuli. Even if they were sentient, we feed more plants to animals. So if you care about plants' welfare, you wouldn't demand more being bred into existence to be shoved in the mouths of the animals you use. Animals take more resources. That pyramid that you guys like to talk about, the what's the word I'm looking for? The food pyramid, as you like to call it, is actually called the trophic pyramid, and it's about energy transfer. It's a zoom in on food webs. It's about how when one thing eats another, how much energy is transferred. Only 10%. 10% of what, so 100%, right, is in the individual. If someone eats that individual, they only get 10% of what went into that individual. So that just shows you how inefficient using animals is. But even if it was efficient, let's say that if you feed animals, you actually get more out of them. I personally don't care. If you fed me and I can give you more resources with my flesh, I don't give a good goddamn. You don't get to touch this. That's not okay with me. And the animals feel the same. So it doesn't matter what your excuses are. The point is someone sentient wants their autonomy left alone, wants to be free. They care about what happens to them, just like you. That's the point. Anything you say against carnivores contradicts yourself on plants. It doesn't, though. You clearly aren't listening. What are you, 8 years old? You have the attention span of a child. Overpopulation. Well, if we stopped raising animals, right, we could reduce our agricultural land by 75%. That means those animals can go fill up that space. They're no longer overpopulated because there's more resources for them to go live on. And we can improve our crop fields so they don't enter them. It's that simple. Veganism is not dangerous. Your way of thinking is dangerous because you're demanding that someone get a knife jammed in their throat. That's dangerous. If animals don't have rights, neither do you. Because you're teaching the next generation that it's okay to discriminate based on arbitrary traits that you deem lesser. There is no morally relevant difference that justifies the difference in treatment. Yeah, humans are overpopulated. Maybe we should start eating humans, right? Start hunting them, and because they're going to get hit by cars, they're going to spread disease, right? They're going to trample and destroy the environment. So we would be doing a good by pew-pewing humans. We'll just take off the small sickly ones, right? The children or the ones that maybe, we got to thin out the herd. We'll put a point system to it, though. So sometimes we'll take out the big, healthy, strong ones, too. And then you can mount their heads on the wall. Who doesn't want long pig, which is another word for human? When you put a human in that situation, you start to see the injustice. There's a quote about that too. It's about humans see oppression vividly when it's happening to them. Otherwise, they oppress blindly. And that is exactly what's happening here in this chat. I guess you're referring to bacteria, and I think all animals are entitled to defend themselves. Eating away bacteria is just self-defense, but I was more asking her lines on regards for life. It's not about life, it's about sentience. Someone making preferences. Yeah. Yeah, not surprised. That doesn't make sense. Vegan Siren actually asked it really well. That wouldn't make vegans less dangerous. Or it wouldn't make us dangerous. I think it's what you meant to say. Because we value humans as the same as animals. I don't go around taking the life of humans or animals. Do you see, how that's not dangerous? It's peaceful. John Den, you are so dense. Are you even sentient? It sounds like you're a moral patient, because a moral agent understands what's right and wrong. You clearly do not. You struggle hard. You still need to learn. Think about, why do we not want to exploit those that are vulnerable to us? Why? We could get benefits from it. Those individuals aren't benefiting society otherwise. If anything, they're a drain because we have to take care of them. So why not get everything we can out of them instead of wasting resources on them? Because they care what happens to them. So do the animals. That's the point. Exploitation of a sentient being is wrong. Exploiting a mineral is fine. The issue with non-sentient beings when they're exploited is not that rock or that plant is being exploited. It's that the environment might be harmed if it's being done in an exploitative way. But that's not a moral thing about the individual. That's an overall issue. Exploitation of an individual, like human slavery, is bad because an individual is losing their freedom, autonomy, and their life. That's why it's wrong. You misspelled meat, Neo. Maybe the cholesterol's clogging your brain. Exactly, hyperlink life. Lean long pig for life. Yep, We can use less land eating plants directly. Exactly. Yeah, maybe. But it's also a claim that is not true. I forgot the name of the study. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the study. But there's a study that actually compared the amino acids from plants and from animal sources. And they found that as long as you have your full amino profile, doesn't matter the source, you will develop muscles. So it doesn't matter. If you're worried about getting your nutrition, because most people don't know how to eat, and that's totally understandable. I didn't. I had to research too. Just look up nutritionfacts.org. They make it really easy. They have a bunch of studies so you can watch videos and learn about the conclusions of these studies. What is healthy? What does it mean for something to be healthy? Compared to what? Right? I love that they break that stuff down. If you don't want to watch those, they have what's called the Dailey Dozen that's backed by science. It's just about how to get everything you need in a day. And it's just a checklist. It's just little categories of food that are like, hey, make sure you get 3 servings of beans or some kind of protein source. And it lists all the vegan sources that you can choose from so that you know you have options. And they even say, etc. Like you can Google vegan sources for protein and you'll see a list pop up, right? There's no one way to do this. It's just avoiding animal use. That's it. There's so many different ways to live vegan. I do eat plant-based meat. Again, that's misspelled. It's M-E-A-T, but that's okay. I do eat plant-based meat and milk. Not often though, because it's kind of a junk foodie and I don't really need it. I just eat beans and I love beans. But if you want to eat them, there's no problem with that. But no muscles if we eat if we eat meat. Yeah, no A's. Don't use A's. I'm allergic to the letter A. Exactly, Big Joe. You have been. Yeah, what's wrong with beans? Beans are delicious. Tofu, tempeh. I'll be honest, when I first went vegan, I actually avoided soy for a really long time because I was scared of it. I thought it could make you sick or give you estrogen, but studies have come out and proven that that's not the case, that it actually increases testosterone and it actually is healthy for you. People that eat tofu or soy actually show trends to being living longer and having higher quality years. Same thing with what's that other plant toxin that people bring up? It starts with an L. It's in beans. Do you remember what it's called? What's the nutrient in beans that people complain about the most? It starts with an L. I don't know, lignans or something like that. Anyway, it's something that you can cook out of the beans. You just have to cook them and like 90% of it is gone. But any of these toxins, again, they usually get depleted once we cook them, which is a big part of why we are the way we are. Our ancestors started cooking food. And that's why our closest relatives are like frugivores and herbivores because, we were eating the same kinds of foods. That's why they're more intelligent. Like they eat a lot of fruit, but we started to cook our starchy foods. So they think that unlocked it so that it could enter our brain and feed our brain more because our brain runs on glucose. But it doesn't even matter. Like obviously our ancestors did eat stuff in the past, but I was just trying to say that soy is actually quite healthy for us. Yeah. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. I do see, though, that we have quite an active chat on both sides. Lectins. Thank you, Hyperlink Man. Thank you. Lectins. Oh, my gosh. That was bothering me. I'm like, that's the first thing I'm going to look up after this. Thank you. Lectins. Just cook them right out of there. And they find that people that have diets high in lectins, that do have the most amount of lectins, they live the longest, typically. So just bear that in mind, Check out nutritionfacts.org. They're full of information. It's fun to learn, And you'll be motivated because you're like, I don't want to demand someone be exploited. And there's a way. Look, someone has made a way on how to live healthy without demanding that exploitation. That's amazing. Makes it super easy. And then there's also veganeasy.org. You want to talk to someone or maybe just have a community of people you can bounce ideas off of, talk about your obstacles and how to overcome them. That's what Vegan Easy is for. It's really great. So please just take a screenshot. Check them out. Please, everybody, watch Dominion 2018. At minimum, be informed of what you're doing. This is not a gotcha film. This is just bare basics, what has to happen, okay? Appreciate you guys hanging out. I know I'm a yapper sometimes. Live forever! Pure lectin diet! Just chomping on raw, hard beans. Oh my God. I'll just come on here one day and just eating raw tofu. I could do that. I love it. So maybe I will. I don't know. All right, guys. Enough of that. I'll see y'all later. Have a great vegan day. Thank you to all my vegans in the chat. Thank you to all my mods keeping it safe in there. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I will catch you on Friday, 4:22-ish p.m. we'll say. And otherwise, I will be live Saturday on anti-animal use. Oh, you can't see it. On Anti-Animal Use's YouTube. It'll be about noon. Vegan Stoner Lady, my other channel, I will be live 10 till noon, and then we'll be on Anti-Animal Use noon till 2. Just on the street, talking to people, asking the same questions I ask you about oppression, exploitation, when is it okay, would they tolerate it being done to them, and so on. And it will be in Portland, Oregon, where there's a lot of tension going on right now. So a lot of people that understand oppression and exploitation, a lot of people standing up against it. We want to test to make sure they're living their values. You know, if they're going to preach to other people, they better be living their own values too. But just in general, leave the animals alone. All right, guys. Thank you for being here, and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you next time. Oh no, YouTube, you're still seeing me. All right. Thank you, guys. Yeah, slow comments. They slowed down at the end. It's because I'm leaving. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'll catch you next time. Like I said, Friday or Saturday. Cool. See ya.